Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Happy Monday, everyone. Sports Hounds live from the Real Talk Studios in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. As always, brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified accountants. Visit GibsonMayerLLC.com. Lot to talk about tonight. Jam-packed 2 hours. Brad is off gallivanting in the Virgin Islands. Ryan Brodo is here filling in.
Hello, everybody.
I believe for the first time since the Monday after the Super Bowl.
It was a special Monday.
We bring Brian Brodo out for he's the Nick Foles of the Sports Hounds. You know, one of us goes down, you fill right in, and you play big.
I'll take it as a compliment right now, especially after last night.
It's absolutely a compliment.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Depending who you talk to. But it's good to be here.
Yes, and then Frank Vesby, as always, producing the show. But, I mean, we'll get right into the Eagles. We'll get right into the Scanzana Sports poll question night. Is Nick Foles, I almost said Carson Wentz, is Nick Foles a franchise quarterback? It's a simple yes or no. I know the poll question is designed to, have the Team Wentz and Team Foles say their opinion. But I want to get into the game. What I want to know from you, Brodo, is explain this to me. You're a logical person. Nick Foles is a backup quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback, to answer the poll question. He's a decent to good quarterback.
Yeah.
Why is it that, first off, one thing he did last night that Carson Wentz hasn't done all season is he got rid of the ball in a timely, accurate manner. And the part I want you to explain to me is how is it that this inferior quarterback to Carson Wentz has the innate ability to rally his teammates in big spots for big victory after big victory?
Well, it's the Nick Foles effect, isn't it? I think that's what people were running with today. It's a great question because while watching that game, especially through, the conclusion of it now, ever since that game, I've been asking myself the same question, to be honest. I think a lot of people are, at least the realists in the fan base. In my opinion, there's a couple things, okay? And clearly, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in the locker room, in the organization, with meetings with Nick Foles, all that stuff. So it's strictly speculation in our part, but I think there's a couple things that comes down to it. Number one, I think it gives the play callers, with the offensive side of the ball, Doug Peterson, obviously Mike Rowe, it gives them more urgency to come up with more of a hands-on game plan because – at least, I keep bringing up, the realist will understand that Nick Foles is more of a limited quarterback than Wentz is. And I feel like that has caused the organization, sometimes Doug, a lot of the times Mike Rowe, to just go under the mindset of, Wentz is Wentz, therefore he can do it all because he was a magician, he was a wizard last season, and he was for parts of his rookie season. I think that's part of it. I think it's also because clearly, and people that are watching all over the place, let me know if you agree or disagree with this. I think last night's game came strictly down to game plan on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Last night's game was the first time in a while they came with a plan. They didn't improv their way through the first quarter, through the first half, and through the game. And they didn't play a perfect game by all means. We'll talk about that all throughout the show.
But isn't that because Wentz does not, and it's not a diss on. Let me just put the disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
Because I think that Carson Wentz is a franchise quarterback and Nick Foles is not as good as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is my franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know I'm critical of Carson sometimes. I know I was praising Foles last night because I thought he played well. But I am a Carson Wentz guy. I believe he is a franchise blue chip quarterback. Just had to say that, so that people get confused sometimes.
It's easy to. Yes.
Well, not really if you listen and critically think.
Well, that's the problem with the internet.
Yeah.
Nobody really listens or pays attention.
No. But Carson doesn't do well with structure. Carson is of the Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger breed, where sometimes you got to let him draw it up in the dirt and go make something happen. He's not good at the RPOs. He's not good at throwing to spots where there's no receiver and trusting Nelson Aguilar to run under the ball and catch the ball, or Alshon Jeffrey to suddenly break from the corner and be to a spot. That's not what he does. That's what Nick Foles does. In my opinion, a lot of these game plans that we've seen this year from Mike Groh and Doug Peterson have been perfect game plans for Nick Foles, not for Carson Wentz.
Well, you know why, to be honest? And first off, the easy answer to why it worked last night with the quarterback, Nick Foles, and it hasn't really worked out for Wentz this season, it's very easy. Well, one of them was playing hurt with a recovering knee and obviously an injured back, obviously. So that's the easy answer, and Nick Foles wasn't. I think also, and the point that you brought up is structure. Now, do I think Wentz can't play with any structure? No. But I think what got us so far in the past with Foles was that structure. Was the structure a variety of pass plays, variety of guys being used.
Nick Foles needs the structure because he's not that good.
Exactly, and that's what I think causes the offensive coordinators and the head coach to apply more structure. You know what I mean? Like, I think by no means do I think Doug Peterson is the main fault of this season going haywire. I think it's the entire team. I think it's the entire organization. But I think what Doug Peterson is, while I think he's a very good head football coach, he's stubborn at times. And I believe that sometimes it's very easy when you have a guy like Wentz or a Rodgers or a Watson, or I can go on a list, or a Mahomes.
I wouldn't even call it stubborn. I think that Doug struggles with the strategy of game flow sometimes. That's why DiFilippo was perfect and Reich was perfect for Doug, because they could go over there and say, yo, Doug, we got Anthony Brown, number 31. The guy can't play a lick. We got to exploit that. Whereas Mike Groh and Deuce Staley seem to be more of yes men and are just going to do what Doug wants.
The other part of why I believe it worked so well last night, and I talked about this pre-show.
They ran the ball.
Well, yes. And what's a big part of being able to run the ball? What unit needs to play well for the quarterback to do well and for the run game to do well?
Offensive line.
Did you notice something? I said this pre-show, especially for the guys on Periscope that were watching. I said, there's a certain individual that no one's really talking about, and I think is I'm not going to say huge part, because it is one game, but he was a part of the Super Bowl winning team last year. There's a certain member of the offensive line that played last night. Yeah. And I believe it's paramount to really why I never understood why they took him out of it. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's Stefan Wisniewski.
Wisniewski?
Isn't it odd? And I understand Wisniewski was injured at the beginning of the season, so they switched to Ciamalo because Ciamalo was healthy.
Wisniewski was benched, wasn't he? He was getting lit up, no?
He was benched mainly because he was playing hurt for a while, so you did see a lot of returns for Isaac Ciamalo here and there. And maybe an appearance with some of the other backup guards. But
correct me if I'm wrong.
Was mostly on the bench for the season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank and Rob, but Wisniewski was a part of that offensive line through the Super Bowl run last year, correct?
Yes.
So I believe it's just funny, and maybe it's extreme coincidence. I'm looking too deep into it. But it's interesting that
You're looking too deep into it.
So you don't think the addition
No.
of Wisniewski and the subtraction of Ciamalo could be that it works better with
Frank,
Wisniewski?
No, Frank is trying to look up the stats because I have no idea how to even look up a stat like this. Nick Foles got rid of the ball last night.
No, he did. He absolutely did.
It's the correlation that you're looking for is Nick Foles got rid of the ball, therefore the offensive line let up no sacks.
Yeah. No, it's
whether it's
a combination.
Wisniewski or Ciamalo at guard, because Carson held the ball too long.
He did.
And it wasn't as obvious to me
as
until I saw how Foles played the quarterback position last night.
Do you think that's the one main criticism I've always had of Wentz was that, and it's the main fault I have with him, and it's in a way long term it's a good fault to have, is that he tries to do too much on his own. Do you agree with that? Like that's the number one most frustrating thing about Wentz is that he tends to force the issue a little bit because he believes in himself enough that he thinks he can be Superman,
right?
When he really can't, especially with these two injuries.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like the rookie season when he had nothing around him and he started to crash and burn, especially after Lane Johnson went down. He threw all of those picks and he was fumbling all the time because he knew it within himself. He's not going to be a Cam Newton or Jared Goff or an Eli Manning that's going to take the professional sack. He knows in the back of his head because he knows how damn good he is that, hey, nobody's going to kill this play until I say.
Maybe these injuries will humble him. There's something there. It
could be just based off of he's still a young, growing player, and that's just something as he gets older he'll learn. That's just been my number one, criticism of him, and that's a great problem to have.
I do think Carson Wentz has an issue with staring down, like locking in on, say, Alshon Jeffrey or Zach Ertz, whereas Nick Foles doesn't really care who catches the ball. He just cares that they move the chains and get yards.
True. I mean,
I think there is something to that.
I'm going to run. So we have a lot of people chiming in on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
we have Facebook, too. Yeah,
you want to do Facebook first, and I'll jump
to
YouTube?
Sure. Mike Mataraki.
What's up, Mike?
There are probably 18 to 20 teams in the NFL who would take a healthy Carson Wentz over their current starting quarterback. Nick Foles, that number would probably be less than 10, maybe less than 5. Glad to have Foles in Philly, but he's not a franchise quarterback. I am. We're going to play a game later. I think we've played this game before on the air, but we're going to go through the league, and is Nick Foles better or is Nick Foles worse?
See, we played the same game with Wentz. I love this game, so this will be fun.
So we're going to do that later, but I think Mike hit it. I agree with Mike.
Yeah, I do agree.
Good point. Chrome checks in. What's up, Chrome?
What's up, Chrome?
Chrome was at the game last night.
Chrome,
I believe.
I'm
Way
so
to bring
envious.
home away, Chrome.
It's so funny. Him and I we were joking back and forth all week last week. He was saying he's not even he was looking forward to the game, but that wasn't like the highlight of his trip. I think that's changed. I'm so happy Chrome went out there.
Has he got buddies out there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he has a ton of stories tomorrow on Birds with a Feather.
I went to one. I went to Chip was the coach. It was in Carolina actually, where they're playing the Monday Night Football game last night on a Sunday night, and they lost. And I was just like, why did I do that?
Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself?
And they just lost in excruciating fashion.
Isn't that the most depressing thing?
The drive back was terrible. But, happy Monday, fellas. Just got from LA a couple hours ago. The energy and electricity out there. Yeah, that was home game number 9.
Yeah, I'm glad you were out there, buddy.
Out of control. Chromo. No, Foles is not a franchise quarterback. Ralphie, if Foles is a franchise quarterback, then I'm skinny.
Oh, Ralphie.
That's Ralphie.
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but don't do that.
Gustavo Morantine. Foles distributes the ball. Wentz doesn't. That's the difference. Foles takes more shots. Wentz doesn't.
Well, I mean, that's not wrong. I mean, we all have to understand, too, and nothing he said is false.
No.
They are both very different style quarterbacks. Nick Foles has the ability to go down the field, and he's one of the most accurate throws of the football with extended, obviously, with a ton of yardage under his throws. Wentz doesn't really do that. That's actually another criticism I've always had, is that, and it's not just me, but the accuracy with the long ball isn't really there with Wentz yet. Do I think he'll be able to grow that over time? Absolutely.
I don't think that's –
Really?
I think –
You just think he's going to be one of those guys?
He looked good chucking the ball long when he was going 11-2 last year.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the wizardry.
I think that's – yeah, but I don't know. I think that's overblown with Wentz's deep ball. He's fine at throwing.
I hope so. By the way, Cam Newton's getting lit up, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we got fantasy, right?
It's a big night. It's a big night. I'm sure Wilder is watching intently. So if anybody who follows along with the A2D fantasy league, it's myself and James Wilder in the final. He has Cam Newton going. I have
you need to represent America here. You know that, right?
I have.
It's a big burden.
Yeah, it's a big burden, and I'm also defending champ against. Wilder is very well documented. Yeah. He's a rookie in this.
He's a rookie from Canada.
I play fantasy all the time, and my team sucked.
I've been playing
My
fantasy.
first-round pick has yet to play a snap. He didn't show up, Le'Veon Bell.
Oh,
Yeah.
you traded him to me, and I'm still waiting for him.
Yeah.
I
Did
had to
trade
get rid
you?
of him.
Oh, we're in the same part. Oh,
Yeah.
Frank, because Frank wussed out and went to the other one. He didn't want to
I-
play with us.
You
I
want to
did
talk
not-
about that?
I did not wuss out.
No, you wussed out.
I did not wuss out.
It's okay.
You didn't want to play with me and Tom and Mataraki.
I wanted
and
to,
Brodo.
but because
All
we
you had to
decided to
do
make
was-
it a
all you
20-person
had-
league. Somebody had to run the other division.
Don't look at me.
Hey, let someone else do that.
I just click the buttons. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. But anyway,
Yeah.
very, very big implications in this game.
Bill Middlebrook thinks Foles will be in Buffalo. I don't agree with that. I like Josh Allen. I think he's got some tools
it
there.
should be a
I think they're
conversation
gonna-
later. Like, where will Nick Foles be in
Well,
2019?
okay, we'll do it later.
Because that could be
I
expensive.
struggle with like someone who just drafted a quarterback. They're going to take Foles. I mean, I don't know. I guess
Oh,
we'll
I
talk
can
about
think
it
of
later,
very I have two names that
I
are
mean,
absolute locks.
Josh Rosen blows, so he can go.
They're
going
to fire their head coach, by the way. Apparently, it's a foregone conclusion out there that they're going to fire him after one
After
season.
one season.
That's
And they knew they were going to be the worst team in the league. But all right,
That's poor.
Yeah.
That's
maybe they're going to try and get McCarthy.
maybe, but
He's a Jet. Just telling you.
I think he's a Brown, but we'll see. Bill Middlebrook, the whole team stepped up. It wasn't just Foles. They played harder for him. Don't know why. Chemistry, question mark. Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to
I'll take it, man.
comprehend
It's a
it.
win.
Yeah,
I'll take
and
it.
your
I'm not going to
season's
look
alive.
into
You're
it.
going to play the Houston Texans probably without Lamar Miller
Oh, God.
Sunday at home.
Apparently, Hopkins is banged up, too. That's something to look at. Even if he's limited.
Yeah, but him limited is like still like the third best receiver in the league.
Well, him against our secondary hurts my feelings. Just thinking about that.
Gustavo Morantine, yes. So, yes, Foles is a franchise quarterback, and because Wentz always passes to Ertz, if we as fans notice that, obviously the team does. I think everyone likes playing for Foles more than Wentz. I don't know.
I think that's a bit of a reach.
Didn't look that way when Wentz was going 11-2 and being the MVP of the league.
A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people do.
John Malmos.
Yep.
Malmus.
I think, John.
Foles saves the season. 21 for 31, 270, 0 TDs, 1 INT, and a QB rating of 89.4. Defense finally showed up, and Doug finally decided to run the ball. 30 runs to 31 passes. Yes, that's almost 50-50. I love Nick Foles, but let's be realistic about facts. The turnovers and pressure from the D-line was the difference in the game. Okay.
No, the biggest reason why I believe we won that game last night, like not to quote Jason Kelsey, but it was the whole team. The biggest difference between
But, like, do these guys step up because they know Foles isn't as good as Wentz?
You know what's
Like,
funny?
Is there a higher sense of urgency with this guy in there?
that, I think that's a fantastic question.
Because
But it doesn't even – it should matter to me as a fan because I especially given, we talk about it every week, but all I care about – if that's what does it, if that is what gets them victories, whatever. As
Yeah, I
long
don't
as the
care.
understanding in the locker room and throughout the fan base is that Wentz is our guy going forward into the next 9-10 seasons
at what point does it become a quarterback controversy?
when Foles wins another Super Bowl.
So
That's
Foles-
the only way I entertain this.
So the Eagles go. What would it have to be?
we
last
run the
night,
table.
6-game win streak. To
We
win
would
the
have to
Super
run
Bowl?
the table. Yes. If we run the
So
table,
Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl.
then I will have the conversation.
Then, okay, fair.
And people at home, what is
Yeah.
it going to take for you if you agree with us and you still believe that? And I think 85% of the fan base believes this as well, that Foles is a star guy going forward into the next handful of seasons, obviously, hopefully for the next 10 or so years. What would it take for you to join in all these Nick Foles people and say, oh, there's a legitimate controversy? Because I
That's
think it's
tough.
a fine line.
Let's get there first.
Yeah, let's get past friggin' Houston.
Going to be a tough game, by the way. I don't know how I feel about it. We do the show on Monday, so predictions aren't really our thing here on the Sports
Aha,
Hounds, but
found it.
Did you?
I found it, yes.
Very good, Frank.
You should have hit the breaking news sounder.
Oh, you want me to play it now?
No, now it's not.
Well,
It ruins the mystique.
Yeah,
Oh.
yes,
Frank.
you got to know to hit the button.
Next time.
You-
Rain
Alright,
check.
We'll
Rain
teach
check.
you.
Okay.
Just teach you. We'll teach you. We'll get you there. All right,
All right.
so you found the stat.
I do find the release times.
So
for
the
both
release
players.
times. Okay, so what did you find? This is the how quick NFL quarterbacks got rid of the ball.
All right, so Mr. Wentz,
Okay.
2.66 seconds.
Okay.
Mr. Foles, 2.85 seconds.
Really?
Yes.
So there's no merit to my
Stefan Wisniewski.
maybe Roto's right. So there's no merit to my opinion. No merit.
Stefan, I'm on your fan club. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm there for you, Stefan. Is it Stefan or Steven?
Stefan.
Okay, I'm good. I got to know his name before I join the fan club.
That just confuses me even more.
That is what
It
this
makes
that
no
is the
sense that
typical
this guy
Eagles
is
team. Of
good.
course it's going to
I mean,
confuse us.
you got to throw in the fact that,
What is the body of work for that?
better.
Like-
apparently, to the tweet that I saw, a lot of it was relying on the offensive line, on why he got the later release time. Because if you think about it,
So
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
The O-line.
Does this make
Welcome
sense?
to
Made
Philadelphia. I know.
the
That's why I went
O-line
after Stefan. You think I want to bring up
made-
Stefan?
Foles better this week than Carson has been for the past
But-
several weeks.
Are we also including like? Can you find like it was 2.84 seconds last night?
No,
in
I
his
think it's got
career
to be
or
an
for
average.
his
It's got to be
I think it's an average.
It's an average this season. I would
I
almost
believe
guarantee
it's an
that.
average. Let me see.
Can you find what his release time was last night?
That I can't find.
I don't even know if they would release that yet.
That I don't think they release.
No,
that
what I
yet,
think they do,
but
Rob, I think they take a handful of games and they put it into an average.
Pretty much, and I think that's what it is. I think it's the average from both.
And here's the crazy
Right,
thing, Rob.
but
from
if
the
you're
course of the
taking
season.
into snaps against Tampa, where yes he had 364 yards, but he played like total garbage, like that.
No, I
skews the
understand.
numbers.
I understand, but the reason why I disagreed and I didn't believe that it was a whole he's getting rid of the ball more or quicker, it's because up until 2 weeks ago, before Wentz got hurt, or the game before Wentz got hurt, Wentz was averaging a quicker release of the football than last year. He was getting rid of the football 0.6 seconds earlier than last season. Like, that's the crazy thing.
Then why
Everything
does he
skews
get
reality.
why does he get buried every week? And Nick Foles, his uniform, he's got no grass stains on his uniform, on his clean white uniform.
I think it's the structure of the offense, structure of the O-line.
Pretty much.
So that tells me that it's totally a higher sense of urgency when Foles is in there because they know they have to be better because he's not as good as quarterback.
Especially with the coaching staff. Because you have to understand, too, and I believe you do understand this, and it's crazy. It's not your fault. It's this football team is so confusing on so many levels.
Exactly.
It's that I look at this team one week and then they're the exact opposite the next. It's an example of, I believe, the coaches really, I mean, they have to know this, that, hey, Nick Foles is more limited. Therefore, we have to spread the ball around
Right.
more. We have to run the ball more. And it has to be more of a 50-50 offense, which a lot of the fans have been begging for,
Yep.
as opposed to Doug being, this is where I bring up the stubbornness of, Wentz is my guy. Wentz is a wizard. Just give him the ball and he can make everything
Part of me
great.
thinks that Doug wants to run Carson that RPO system, and it's shown that it's not working with Wentz. If you give Wentz like the whole Ferrari, give him the entire garage, he can do something with it. But
Well, Frank,
when
here's
you're
the
giving
other
the
part.
Needs
RPO,
garage.
it's
He's gonna
not
be
working.
parked in it until
Yeah.
week 1 next year.
Well, Frank, here's the other part of
Yeah.
it. What have I been screaming about? Not screaming about. What have I been talking about for the last 7 weeks when it comes to the offense and Carson Wentz? I've been saying, and it's crazy to say, I say it every week, but it is true. With Carson, ever since he's come back, they are still running the Nick Foles offense.
yeah,
realize
I say that every week too.
Yeah.
Isn't that so?
They're running
Of
the- yeah.
course, Nick is going to be
Carson
better because
Wentz
it's his
should-
offense.
That's his offense.
Carson
Now-
Wentz should not be running RPOs.
He
Doug.
shouldn't.
Exactly.
He should
He
not be
shouldn't.
running RPOs.
Maybe it's okay to run an RPO play here and there, but
And I don't think it fully
No.
falls
it
on
doesn't.
Doug either.
It doesn't work when you do
Carson
it full time
Wentz
with
didn't
Carson.
even play an RPO.
He didn't.
He
He
played
played
a pro
style.
offense
He
even
did.
in college.
He did.
The problem
you-
with these coordinators, Frank and
They
Rob,
suck.
and people
They
at home,
suck. Mike Gross sucks, and Deuce Staley sucks.
common sense
I
would
hate them.
say, "Oh, our boy is back, our prince is back, our God is back, our Ginger Jesus is back."
Yeah.
You know, the guy who took us and literally
So
laid
they
it up for
relax.
Foles to
They
finish off the
relax.
season.
Yeah.
Common sense would say, "Oh, let's switch the offense back to what was working for him then." oh, no, we're just going to keep it the Nick Foles offense, and we're just going to keep it the same.
Yeah.
For a guy who didn't have a training camp or preseason or anything.
Frank Reich and DiFilippo would not have let that happen.
But Mike Groh doesn't know better.
Mike Groh stinks.
Mm-hmm. Do you worry as well that so you agree that Schwartz and Groh should both be fired? Right?
I don't know. Jim Schwartz, I thought, called a pretty good game.
Yeah,
last
Schwartz
Schwartz
definitely
he bought
coordinated
pressure.
for his job.
He
basically.
he bought pressure in key spots, which I liked. I thought his players let him down against Dallas, not his scheme. And I hate to play the sticks off the ball BS defense. But, it worked last night.
It's funny you said that because my question was going to be, do you believe that game last night is good enough for both of them to keep their jobs?
Well, Frank can vouch for this. I think I was on the Fire Grow train three weeks before
you pretty much
everyone
were.
else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I followed with Deuce because I don't know what Deuce.
You don't know what Deuce will run.
You don't want to make. You want to make Deuce your OC?
Right.
What, are you out of your mind?
And I know the Eagles fans, in the case if Groh gets fired, they want Deuce, but it's just
no. Fans are stupid. They shouldn't make any decisions at all.
I'm gonna run.
That's the thing. It's like, well, we should not.
Let me read.
We should figure out what we'll work with.
Let me get to Bill and Kyle here then.
Work with.
Kyle Sutra, how about that
works
game
best.
last night? The magic continues. Have a great show. Thanks, Kyle. Come on. Bill Middlebrook. Great follow on social media, by the way. We never agree, but he handles himself in a
That's good.
Good.
in a appropriate manner, unlike some.
I like Bill.
Fun to talk to. Fun to interact
I've
with.
never interacted with Bill, but I
Come
I
on,
like
if
that.
that's true, they'd already have been doing that. Watch the film. Wentz calls an audible every damn play and looks for Ertz or gets sacked. I agree he works down on Ertz, and I agree he takes too many sacks. I'd have to look into the audible part of it. I'm not.
So
I haven't really noticed the audibles when I looked at some of the games.
I think he should call more audibles.
He should call more audibles. I agree with that.
I think when Doug gives him a shit play, he should just
call the
okay.
like the that 3rd-and-1 play against Dallas. That should have been Carson's opportunity to call an audible on that
give
one.
the Peyton Manning the headset's not
the
working.
Omaha.
Yeah, the headset's
Kill,
not working.
kill.
Yeah, chief. Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the
Go
the
through
YouTube.
the YouTube
Yeah.
comments.
So David Rosca, man of the hour. I hear you, David. He says, yeah, I know you guys won. Congratulations, my Rams.
Well, that's all right. They're still good.
Do not stink.
still
Next
good.
time we face you guys at divisional round, Rams will beat you. Well,
Roska's got us in the divisional round. I love it.
I am going to spin this into a
I
positive,
love it.
David. By the way, he's limping. Alert, Cam Newton is limping. Do I have a shot here, Frank? I think I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's hurt. He has hurt ribs, too. He's playing with hurt ribs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because
please.
he's a reckless football player.
Frodo just kicked your ass.
No, don't do that yet.
Oh,
I mean,
I didn't want to jinx it yet?
no, I mean,
Oh.
Lutz has not put up a point because the score is 0-0. But all I'm saying is I do not root for injuries. I might think it, though. I might think it. I might not say it out loud, but I might think it.
Well, you got 15 yards of BS. Get him in the head.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No.
Well, never mind.
Let's read
Khalid says, ha, 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 ha. David Ross can fly, Eagles fly.
Oh,
What's up, Khalid? He says, Nick Foles has ice in his veins. He doesn't panic.
True.
Wasn't that eerie,
True.
how
True.
calm he looked?
Oh, yeah.
True.
Let's see.
You
Joe.
can't really argue that.
Yeah,
Even
you
if you're a
can't.
Wentz guy, you can't argue that.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
Joe D comments saying he put Foles with a trophy next to his name and golf next to a blank next to his name.
It's another interest. I'm going to be interested on your opinion when we throw out the Foles golf.
It'll
comparison.
be very interesting. Very interesting.
I threw a couple to Frank before you even got here.
Couple curveballs, huh?
Frank, he had some stumpers. Yeah,
You gave me a really good stumper,
All right.
but the other ones I kind of
yeah. The other
on.
two were easy.
The other two are easy.
Eagles Crazy says, yo, what's up, Eagles Crazy? Bryce Blackwell says, yo, epic win. What's going
Hey,
on,
yo.
Bryce? David Rossi says, Foles will lead to postseason with a victory over Dallas.
Oh, my God. Nothing.
David, don't tease me.
Nothing would
Don't.
If we lose those scumbag idiots 3 times in one season.
No. He was saying that we were going to beat them. We were going to play Dallas in the first one.
I'm saying
Oh,
if that
if we
happens
played
and
them,
we
we
lose
lost.
to them 3 times. Because if you lose twice and you beat them in January, cool. I'm
so,
good.
Man, this team.
I'm good.
Frank, what was I yelling at Ralphie a couple weeks ago? I said, Ralph, I'm done. I've had closure. Don't bring me back.
Yeah, that's right.
This team has brought me back.
It was after the Dallas game.
He was sending me the scenarios for the Eagles to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Kept sending them voice
How
notes Ralph,
how
just
to win
end
the
me
division,
now.
how to get the wild card spots.
What was the? Someone was in the chat, and I wanted to throw my computer through the wall. Like, dude, I can't talk to you about this right now.
What about
It
scenarios?
was Thanksgiving. It was
Yeah.
Oh.
they played someone, and then it was Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, it was Was that the Cowboys?
Was that the Saints game?
It was the Saints game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
everyone's
Yeah.
telling me,
Now-
oh, they're gonna go 9-7. Like, dude,
like,
come on,
do
come
you
on.
want me to run down all the scenarios?
No,
and all that?
Not right
No,
now.
no,
Not-
no,
not
no,
right
no,
now.
no.
Not
'cause-
right now.
No.
Don't want to jinx it.
No.
All right. Good for
Let's
me.
see. Joe D says,
Later.
Dave, talking to David Ross, says, we controlled the game with burger flippers in our secondary. Yo,
Yeah.
shout out. By the way, was that
That's Cam Newton. A total breakdown in coverage by the Saints. That guy number 82
Oh,
is wide
no.
open.
Well, congrats, James.
It's not, is it 13 points? Yeah.
Shout out to Avonte Maddox last night.
I
That's
like
what I
that
was
kid.
thinking.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you're going to go with your player that,
Oh, that
stepped
no one's
up.
talking about?
yeah.
No, credit to him. Credit to him because he's shown as a fourth-round pick, as a rookie. Throw him at safety when he's never played there before.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was actually Christian McCaffrey touchdown pass.
I knew I
Yay.
see.
you go.
I
Ah,
knew
you're
I
lucky.
liked Christian. I knew it.
Thanks, Christian.
Avonte Maddox has shown, hey,
yeah.
hey guys, I'm 5'9". You want me to play safety when I never have before?
Why not?
Okay, cool. Oh, you want me to play outside cornerback? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Inside? All right, cool.
And
And,
I-
he flat out plays.
And
then
I
love
said that.
I love Avonte Matt. You know who I hate though, Frank.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Sidney
guess?
Jones.
I hate Sidney
You're,
Jones.
you're out on Jones?
I've been out on Jones since they picked him.
Would it be fair?
All I
for-
see when I see Sidney Jones is Alvin freaking Kamara. Why would you take someone with a torn Achilles over one of those running backs?
Yeah.
Eh,
I can say the same thing about Donnell Pumphrey. There's a million guys
yeah.
in the third, fourth round that you could have taken.
Not running backs though.
because
Oh.
all of them were gone by that point.
Really? I thought there were a couple guys that were.
Like when I was looking at the draft class that year for running backs, I think after Pumphrey it dropped off in my opinion.
What round was Kareem taken?
No,
Kareem was taken
You
in
had
the-
Mixon.
in
You
the
had
third.
Kareem Hunt, which would obviously
Kareem,
really been
Kamara,
bad. Kamara, Mixon.
Donta
Foreman.
Foreman.
He wasn't.
He was
Wasn't that 2 years ago, Frank?
No, that's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
no,
I don't
he
know.
was. It was. I believe it was the same year. As
No.
the Pumphrey.
And then
draft.
No, that
Chubb,
was last year.
Shoney,
No, it was the year before.
Chubb, Sony Michelle,
I thought it was the Pumphrey. draft.
Brashard
Let me-
Penny, and
Or I might have got the name
McCaffrey
mixed up.
went before.
No, Michelle was this year.
Michelle was this year.
McCaffrey was last year.
No, McCaffrey was
Am I
the Philly
confused?
draft.
Yeah, Michelle was this year. Michelle's a rookie now. Pumphrey
Yeah,
was a
you're right,
rookie
you're right,
last
I'm
year.
mixed up. I
But
got my
it-
draft classes mixed up.
But here's the thing. It's so hard to keep track of a guy like Pumphrey because he's never really played. So somebody can come in and play, like for the first, like say for example, he played this week. I bet you 99% of like the casual Eagles fans or NFL fans think, oh, he's probably a rookie. It's
I
like,
can't
nope.
stand. I just can't stand Sidney Jones.
The
I can't
one
stand
thing
him.
that gives me hope about him, he clearly is somebody who didn't get the opportunity to do it last year because he was recovering. He needs to bulk up. He doesn't have an NFL body yet. He's so skinny, and I think if he bulks up, that's going to be huge for him.
Call me when he makes a Pro Bowl.
All right. No, trust me. Right now, it does not look good.
I
He
hate
can't stay
that
on the
guy.
field.
I hate
He
that.
can't
guy.
make a freaking tackle. Like, there's a lot of things.
Oh, he's so physical. He takes out guards in the run game. Shut up. Guy blows. I hate Sidney Jones. I can't stand him.
I haven't given up
Yeah.
on you, Sidney.
And-
At least not yet.
And to follow up on Avonte Maddox, I remember saying that on The Fix several weeks ago with underrated, overrated players. I picked Maddox as my underrated.
No, I agreed. I think I agreed.
You agreed, but you didn't
I
agree
didn't
with
ag-
the, you
the
didn't agree
Camus
with,
Grouget
you didn't agree
ale.
with my Camus pick though.
You guys say Cravant LeBlanc.
Cravon
The fine
LeBlanc.
wine, Cravon LeBlanc.
Jeez.
That's what I call him, the
I'm
fine
taking-
wine.
Oh,
That's a
man.
good one. I might steal that.
By all means. Zill Jones says Nick Foles is the truth, man. Experience-wise, he's on another level. People aren't giving him respect for his resume. People aren't giving him respect. His resume speaks for itself. And then he says he's got a statue outside the stadium for a reason. Well,
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
Zoe, I mean, when you do win a Super Bowl, I mean, you are
Well, the
deserving of a statue.
of is of Doug. No.
No, doesn't Nick have one too?
Who, Nick Foles?
Yeah.
Statue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have one?
Yeah.
Does Doug have one?
Yeah, it's the same
No.
statue.
Bud Light. Oh, they're both on it.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, it's the Philly thing.
Do you want
Yeah.
Philly?
Okay.
Bud Light made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize
they
Nick
made it and
Foles-
donated.
I go to like all the games too, and I've never seen this statue. You can check it out.
Bob Brinkman says, I think it's only natural that everyone else steps up when the backup is in, and the O-line did that last night. That's a good point. Like, it's
Yeah.
natural instinct. Like, okay, we got to really protect this guy. We have to do a little extra.
But I mean,
It kind of worried me a little bit when Foles was out for that one play, and Sudfeld came in out of nowhere. I was like, oh,
Wait,
boy.
Sudfeld didn't come on.
He did for one play.
He did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
because of the play that got Foles in the
Sudfeld
foot.
didn't come on.
I thought he did.
No.
I heard Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, he was warming up on the
I
sideline.
thought he played for
Frank,
I thought he did one snap.
Do you think, honestly, if I saw Nate Sudfeld on the field, you wouldn't have gotten 1,000 text messages of me just panicking on the ground?
Twitter would have exploded.
I thought he played
no,
one snap.
No. If he played a snap, then I'll shave my head. You know what I mean? Like, that's how confident I am. By the way, I'm
Oh
totally
wait,
joking.
wait! And you said if the Eagles won, you got to have your hat
You
on
wouldn't
for
look bad
Wednesday.
with a dome. You wouldn't look bad with a dome,
I wear,
Brodo.
I wear hats anyway, so it would grow back in 2 days probably.
What did Bob said? The heightened sense of urgency for the people. That's where we left off. Right?
Yeah, and then we have
For
Doug Peterson. Zill Jones says Doug Peterson, Nick Foles' relationship and chemistry is better than Wentz and Doug at the moment in Doug's coaching career, and it says it's the history they have with each other. You
See,
agree with that?
I don't agree. I don't agree with that, and it's not a bad comment. You might
No.
be right. I don't really see it that way. Doug gets lost in the game sometimes, where he just doesn't. I feel like he just doesn't know what to do sometimes, and he needs coordinators that are strategists to help him. And Mike Rowe and Deuce Staley are not that. And I thought Jim Schwartz called a good game last night.
Now I want to ask you and the people at home a question, and I want you guys to chime in the chat. When was the moment? Because I would guess that again, 99% of all of us here didn't have the Eagles winning. You did.
I did.
A couple hours before.
34-30, I said.
So I
Got
still want to
shredded.
ask
Got
you
shredded,
guys.
by the way. It's just fall. You just look at this team, like how they conduct themselves. Like,
It's
and
typical Philly.
I'm watching
too.
the pregame show, and like I'm seeing Foles warm up. I'm seeing the players warm up. It was a different energy than what I've seen all season, and I'm not the biggest Rams guy. I think the Rams have played their best football this season.
They've already peaked. Yes,
Yes.
I completely agree with that.
I don't. I'm gonna obviously. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't win a playoff game.
No, I didn't. I said what, frankly, a month ago. I said the Rams will not win a playoff game.
Yeah, you said that.
I don't
might-
trust
we
Jared
might-
Goff. I don't.
You were ahead of that. No, I don't either.
There's something with him. I think. No, you know what I did? I said it on Birds of a Feather at the end of their show about a month ago, and I was telling Chuck, like we were talking about quarterbacks, similar to how we will in a little bit. And I said to him, I said, I've watched every Jared Goff game of his career, full length, for a reason. I said, over watching throughout his entire career, even at his best moments,
Why?
because he's always going to be the guy that's going to be compared directly to Wentz, because they were 1 and 2.
That's good due diligence by you.
Well, I mean, he's always. I'm not going to pay
You
attention.
really watch. When you say you watch every game, you watch every game.
I watch every game.
He does.
I watch every game.
Yeah.
I'm a nut with. I'll watch it. I watched the freaking Cowboys game the first time we watched. So last week before we played the Cowboys the second time.
Right.
Tuesday, I guess it was Wednesday morning technically.
Right.
I went back for the show, and just to have a full understanding, I went back and watched that full length Eagles Cowboys game Sunday Night Football from earlier this season. Oh, I'm a nut. I'm a nut. I'm a nut.
Why would you do that?
I don't. I was depressed. I was depressed watching that game, so I questioned myself,
So
especially now.
So you watched it again?
No. I wasn't depressed before I watched the game, but I was depressed during it. No, because
It's a masochist.
well, I went back and watched that game because I thought a lot of people, and now, I mean, they lost it the second time, so really this argument isn't very good, but I thought the fan base got carried away and thought we got blown out in that first game, which we did. We had every opportunity to win that first game.
Yeah, that's true, but they got outplayed in every
They got
facet of the game. They got outcoached in every facet of the game. The score did not indicate how Dallas dictated that game from start to finish.
So what I did was just to confirm that I was telling the truth, and just so I trust my memory, I went and watched that entire game back just to make sure, like, oh, okay, it wasn't really that close. Oh, it was more of a blowout. So that's the reason why I don't do it for every game. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for anybody's sanity, but I do it on occasion.
I watched the Titans game twice. That was the end of that.
See, I'll never go back. I won't even go back and watch highlights of that game. There's certain games I won't touch. Like the Vikings game that we played, I won't touch that game. I won't watch the Panthers game.
You know how I'm prejudiced. Frank knows how I'm prejudiced against Kirk Cousins and the Vikings.
Yeah. You
That guy
despise
stinks.
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins stinks.
They're stuck. They're stuck out there right now. They're
He's
stuck.
not that much better than Case Keenum, and they're paying him all that money. It made no sense to me.
But I do want to ask you guys and the people at home, what was the moment of the game where you felt it?
Okay,
It
was the first quarter. It was
Opening kickoff?
It was 3rd and 6. No, it was 3rd and 6, and Nick Foles threw a strike, just a dime down the sidelines to Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at the people I was watching the game with, and I said, like, he's really going to throw for 4 touchdowns, and they're going to win.
The moment I realized it, and I remember I sent a voice text to you and Ralphie.
Oh, yeah.
I just sent to him. It was after the long bomb to Alshon where it looked like Aguilar was going to, like, screw it up. Like they were going to run into each other and they couldn't catch it.
Third quarter?
No, I think it was second. I think it was like second. Yeah.
It was one of those.
And I remember watching, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't – like it was the first time. I was so relaxed. I was more worried about – I'm just like, you know what? Everybody stay healthy. Let's put up a fight. My main goal as a fan was let's not do what we did in New Orleans.
I knew that was not going to happen.
Me too.
Part of me was like, all right,
I was
this
very
game
confident
could have gone.
That was not going to happen.
This game could have gone either way. Like, and now I'm eating crow over it, saying, all right,
we all are. It's fine.
Yeah, and it's fine. But part of me was like, as soon as after the first score, I'm like, something's not right. I think we've entered bizarre world. The Eagles are somehow going to pull off this win. I just wasn't sure yet. But as they were continuously racking up points, I'm like, we've entered the Twilight Zone. We're going to win this game.
The weird
part of
the entire week.
I was confident heading into the game. So when I see a couple of throws look really good and a couple of plays go right early, which they did, then I'm still nervous, but I'm confidently nervous, if that makes sense.
And it was weird. That entire day was weird because I usually, like Frank will tell you, I am very weird on game days. I'm usually, even if I predict like a 43-10 blowout in the Eagles' favor, I'm very weird on game days. I get very negative very quickly. Like how many times last night did I text you guys saying, oh, we're going to lose. Oh, my God, we're going to lose. Oh, my God, we're going to lose.
Let's see.
I thought they were going to lose. I thought it was at least going to overtime when Elliott missed that kick.
Well, I kept screaming saying, they're going to burn me. They're going to do it to me again. Because the only thing that this season needed more was like a whole Atlanta Falcons collapse, big time lead give up, which we did twice, but this was like the mecca of it because it was on Sunday Night Football against obviously a great football team.
Here it is.
What did I say?
Well, this was what Ralph said after the Jake Elliott miss. Call David Akers, please. And then you said we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just had a weird feeling. It reminded me of the Super Bowl where I was nervous, but I never said, like, at all during the week or obviously during the weekend and during that game or before the game, I never said, I don't think we're going to win. Like, I just was very quiet. I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens. Because we had all said during the week, like, we all knew that Foles was going to put up points.
Yeah.
The reason why I had this.
Well, the Rams defense is not statistically good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's middle of the pack. Even
it's suspect at best.
Bottom
Swiss
of the pack
cheese.
Despite all the talent they have, it's very suspect.
Well, because Marcus Peters likes to do his own thing. Aqib Talib, in my opinion, is one of the most overrated secondary players in the league. Ndamukong Suh has his own agenda, and Aaron Donald, as long as you contained him.
Peters and Talib are gamblers.
I knew
beat gamblers.
I knew heading into this game that if somehow, and it was very hard to do, but we did it, which is why we won. if we were able to contain Donald, which we did, 0 sacks that he got on us, and if we were able to contain Gurley, which for the most part we did, even though we had 2 touchdowns, what was that?
What? No, he just went to he caught the ball and went to the ground, and 3 guys stood around him and stared at him. Nobody touched him, so he got up and started running.
Oh, Carolina. But we did both of those things, so I knew, hey, if we've stopped those 2 players, the game's ours. And that's exactly what we did. It was just a weird game, man. I was like, it was everything going back to it is a blur to me. And it reminds me a lot of the Super Bowl. It wasn't the Super Bowl by any means. I mean, we didn't win a trophy last night. But it's finally a signature win that this team didn't have all season.
Oh, Colts win looks better every week.
It does. Oh, that Colts team. I would not want to go anywhere near them right now.
That rookie linebacker they have, Jadarius Leonard or whatever his first name is.
Yep.
That guy's a beast.
Well, he had put on his Instagram, he had another drug test. It's like the 3rd one this month or something.
Yeah,
random. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. He's like absolutely destroying everybody,
Raj.
but it's random.
Raj.
It's like, Roger, just own it. Be like, hey man, you're too good for us. We're gonna
Bob
test
Brinkman, I think I've been watching too long. I wasn't satisfied after they missed the throw with 4 seconds left. Typical.
And Zil Jones says the first drive. I guess.
I mean, okay. I mean, I was pretty early on my optimism, but I mean, Foles he brings energy to this team that like Carson doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, what is your stance on the whole running back situation right now?
I think they all suck. I mean, if we're speaking honestly.
So you think?
Can we stop with Josh Adams? Can we stop now with Josh Adams? The guy's not good.
But Rob, he's a
good.
local guy. He went to CB.
He lives 5 minutes from my house. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm a Council Rock guy. Like CB is
but
right
Corey
there.
Clement, he's from Glassboro.
Hey, he's hurt.
I know.
He's the worst of the bunch too, Corey.
Really?
I mean, Super Bowl Corey was good. The Corey I saw that was begging.
Corey against the Redskins was pretty good. But you know what? I was going to say, but that was the Redskins. But the Redskins defense is good.
What did he do against the Redskins?
Oh, he played well. I don't have the exact stats, Frank, if you want to pull up his stats. But no, I mean,
whatever.
Corey played well.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hurt.
Josh Adams lost carries. Pretty much lost the lead back job to Wendell Smallwood last night.
Do you think that has to do with it might be a fit with what they're running with Foles? Is that Smallwood might fit better with that? And also,
I think it also has to do with Josh Adams doesn't fit with anything.
Adams got hurt too. We have to remember that he left the game with a back injury too. But I agree, people got a little carried away.
I mean, I do have to listen with Merle for portions of the 3rd quarter because I'm commuting.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, he went out in the 3rd quarter. He was out.
But Wendell ran strong.
No, I like Wendell. I mean, he's never going to be my lead back.
He stinks, but yeah.
But you know what I like about him? He runs with urgency. He runs with urgency.
It's Wendell, it's Josh, and it's
Sproles.
Sproles, obviously.
Yeah.
So what this team needs for over the final 2 games is one of the 3 to have a good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoever, whatever.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yeah, Josh Adams doesn't do anything for me. He hasn't done anything for me.
No.
The whole season. Wendell Smallwood is a total liability in pass protection. I mean, and Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles is what he is. I didn't really see much of him.
He did stuff early. He did some stuff early, but
he
just didn't get into the end zone.
Right.
No, I think honestly.
You see him put Van Der Esch on skates in the Dallas game.
I did see that.
Put him on skates.
Now, what's your stance on the whole Golden Tate thing? Because once again, little to no impact.
Why did you trade for him? Clearly, Howie didn't ask the coaching staff, I want to get a player, but like, what kind of player should I get that's actually going to help?
Right.
He gave away a 3rd-round pick for a PR move. Now, I don't want to right to appease the fans so they don't freak out.
You had to get somebody,
Right.
When you should have been trading for maybe a slot corner. I don't know who was available at the deadline.
Or a running back.
Yeah, or a running back. Like
that looks
whatever.
Really
I mean,
now, huh?
but like And I've read rumors that they were in on Amari Cooper at a second-round pick. Dallas Trump.
Yeah, that's true.
With a first, like that would have been a better fit.
And they were in for Le'Veon at like a third, I believe.
Yeah.
Like a third straight up.
Okay.
Here's my other real quick.
But the only thing that makes sense to me is if this was a plan, because Howie has to have a plan because he's not going to just give away a third-round pick. He's too much of a nerd to do that. So I think my gut tells me that Golden Tate will be re-signed.
100%, I believe.
I think Nelson Aguilar, something will be worked out where he's traded. And
Agreed again.
I don't think I'm bringing back Brandon Graham.
No. I mean,
I say that to my friends, and they think I'm a moron.
Well, you know why.
Because he had a strip shot in the Super Bowl.
There you go. He's had a better few weeks over the last handful of weeks.
But if you look at the season as a whole,
in a
he
contract
definitely in a contract year, he definitely underwhelmed.
And I get he was hurt. Like that's
Right.
all part of
Yeah,
it.
but that's part of it.
I mean, to be
I need to pay a player for what I think he's going
Right.
to do moving forward, not
Exactly.
what he did in Super Bowl 50. What was it, 53?
52.
52.
But then you also have to look.
I like Brady. He seems like a
I-
stand-up guy.
I like
He
Brandon
got,
Graham
he got
too.
jerked around this entire
Yeah.
first half of his career playing 3-4 linebacker, DN, changed all the time. Like, ultimate professional, really like him, but I don't know if I can give him a huge contract.
Especially that coming up, you have the potential Carson Wentz mega deal.
That'll be an interesting. We'll
It'll
have to
be
save
interesting.
that for a off-season day.
It'll be in the near future.
Is it fiscally responsible to give someone 30% of your salary cap
Is it?
who's always
Will
injured?
Will Carson Wentz be the $200 million quarterback that everybody talks about?
I will say this, all right, and this is going to show me. I already know. He's already showed me the type of character Wentz is, so I'm not going to go with full throttle. But
He's dynamite character.
Yeah.
you
For
know
him to
what?
sit
You
there
know what
and
he
watch-
does then. If he wants to be a true leader, he does what Brady does. Like,
Take fewer.
no,
That I'm thinking
There's
he's going
not-
to take
there's
fewer.
not- this is me talking. Like, if I were Carson Wentz, you're paying me all that money.
all right, and he has every right to
He
say
has-
that.
Yeah, and he has every right. I agree with that.
I just point to how
He
if
is.
you want to look at some of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, look where they are in their divisional standings.
They're
It's
on rookie,
not-
They're on rookie deals.
Here, I'll pull up the standings right here. That's a great. I'll add this for the last minute we're on Facebook right here. NFL standings.
Here,
Thank
we'll
you.
just run through it. Luck gets paid. Roethlisberger gets paid. Brady should be getting paid, but
he's not.
He
But
does,
he's not.
but
Mahomes isn't.
Mahomes isn't.
Still on rookie deal.
I don't know what Rivers' contract is.
It's not. It's not incredible. It's not groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, really? No.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's on a
Deshaun
rookie deal.
Watson.
Marcus Mariota's on a rookie deal.
Dak
Deshaun
Prescott.
Watson. Dak is
Winston. I'm just
I mean,
thinking
Russell
of all the
Wilson
names.
gets paid.
Yeah.
That's what Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott more than one should be doing. Should be following what Brady is. If
Oh,
he's
yeah.
such the great kid and leader that everyone talks about,
Right.
Yeah,
you
Dak-
recognize that your career is where it's at because of your O line,
Yeah, but
Ezekiel Elliott, and
Dak
that
Prescott
defense.
stink- Dak Prescott stinks.
I agree. So he needs to be self-aware and recognize that. Oh, instead of me taking the groundbreaking contract, I take less.
It's unfair for fans and people in the media to push that narrative. It's
True.
unfair.
Right.
yeah, 'cause it's very easy for me to say, "Oh, I would take
Yeah.
a pay cut."
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't take the
Hey-
pay cut. I
Hey,
wouldn't take the
Brodo,
pay cut.
hey, Brodo, we got to give you a 50% pay decrease so we can pay Rob.
To go through a car
What are
accident
you gonna
every
do?
Sunday.
Yeah. What are you going to say to that? Seriously.
I'm gonna say
Tom-
add. I'm gonna
Tom
say add
walks in
10
the
million.
door. Tom walks in the door right now. Hey, Brodo, we got to pay you 50% less so we can pay Rob. I tell Tom to fuck right off and walk right out the door.
Good day, sir.
Yeah. Like, no. We're not
No,
doing
you're
that.
right. You're right.
It's
I was
unfair.
I was being
It's
unfair.
I know you're trying. It's a good question because
I am always follow the example of the leaders before you, and everyone wants to say that. If everyone wants to start saying he's the next Brady,
it's also I also believe it's these players' duty to get as much money as they can because,
oh, I'm wrong.
What?
Screw. Never mind.
3
I
minutes?
thought we started at 8, but we started
Yeah,
a few minutes. late.
A few minutes later.
but it's the
Don't mind
duty of the new people who get like the Mahomes and Wentzes of the world
Mhm.
to get as much money as they can so the guys that come after Mahomes and
Setting a
Wentz
market.
can get paid as well.
So it's kind
because if Carson Wentz is only making $100 million, you know,
it's true.
Matt Stafford's going to be pissed like, well, geez, Carson Wentz is only making this. I'm only going to be making this.
Right.
Like, he should be making way more, and I should be making what Wentz makes.
David Rusk says, Ryan Broda, Raw is on. Why are you not watching? Well, David, I'm doing a show at the
busy.
moment,
Yeah.
and we are watching Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Please don't supply any spoilers. I'm going to be very upset. But, yeah, that's
Vince
just want to answer the question.
Vince McMahon on the program tonight.
Yeah, it's a big night.
Talking about tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh, my.
NX750 Gaming says you can only use the backs that you have. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
I mean,
They're
Why do you
not.
think I wanted a running back in the
Okay.
trade deadline?
Yeah.
Why do you think I was doing that?
Yeah. I mean, we could get a running back in
and
free
then
agency.
Doug ignores the run, except for last night. So spending a big-time pick to bring
Because
in a running
when
back.
you need the run, when you have a more limited quarterback,
Right.
this is what you do.
Exactly.
Um,
And then when your guy is back, then you can get that running back you wanted.
Bob Brinkman says if we don't sign Tate, I think we are getting a compensatory pick. I can never say that
Big
word.
one, yeah.
Compensatory
Big
pick
word.
back. Maybe not a third, but a pick. I think it's either a third or a fourth.
I believe it was.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
I'm not interested
and,
in picks.
Yeah, I'm not.
Especially with how Roseman in the later rounds has not been able to really do much with it.
He hasn't really done much in the early rounds either, outside of Wentz. But that's a
And
discussion
Barnett,
for another
maybe,
one.
if he could stay healthy.
Well,
I think
yeah.
Barnett's a baller, but he just
But you also
I
have
agree.
Joe Douglas being the bread and butter.
Joe Douglas is going to be gone in the offseason. That's going to be the guy who gets poached.
And
He
that-
gets a
and that's
GM
good-
job.
100%.
And that's going to be the big challenge, especially in this upcoming offseason. It's like, can Howie do it on his own again? Can he succeed as the GM on his own? He has 10 picks at his expense. Can he
You know what the
utilize
answer
it
is? Do
correctly?
you want me to answer the question for you right now?
Answer it.
No.
The one glimmer of hope I have, Frank,
Yes.
he was able to go up and get Mr. Wentz
He did get
without
Mr.
Joe,
Wentz.
before Joe.
He did.
But is that a worry of mine? Yes, absolutely. Now, maybe he'll be self-aware and recognize, oh, okay, Joe is gone, but I'm going to get another football guy in
Right.
here.
No, he won't.
But I don't think he's going to do that.
He won't.
You
I
know,
don't think
he's
he's
going
gonna
to
do
go after. He's going to go. He's going
Don't
to.
say Jaws.
No, not Jaws.
Oh, that's I guarantee you, if you
You know-
poll
you know who he's
all of
gonna
Eagles Nation,
ask for
Jaws
help?
is number one.
He's going to ask like Doug and Carson. It's like, all right, which one are your guys? We'll see where we're going to get them. That's basically what's going to happen.
The number one biggest thing wrong with, I think, a lot of teams is that you involve the starting quarterback and you have the starting quarterback make decisions.
That's
A
how
la Green Bay.
I'm in
and that's
for
how
Doug.
Carson got Matt Collins. That's basically what it was.
Matt
It's like,
Collins can't be found right now. He's
Injured.
he's missing.
I'm all for Doug having a
Damn
say, but
hernias.
not being a GM or player personnel person.
Right.
He should have an input.
you should have an input
Yeah,
on who he
absolutely
wants.
input. 100%.
But not the picks. That's all I'm saying.
No,
It's
you
like
can have input.
He should have. I mean, Doug and Carson should have input.
Yeah.
Not full say on. All right, we need to take this guy in this round. Like, absolutely not.
Let's take a break, Frank.
Let's do that.
We're going to play Who's Nick Foles Better Than game after the break on YouTube. Very creative name, I know. A2D Radio, Sports Hounds. Be back right after this.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
A2D Radio, Sports Hounds back, second hour exclusively on YouTube, as always brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified accountants, GibsonMayerLLC.com. We got the poll question, we got Nick Foles. Frodo, we've done this game before where we're going to go through the league and we're going to put an actual power ranking together based on how Nick Foles is. I have a number in my mind of where I think he is.
Me too.
And I'm interested to see how it's going to play.
And people at home play along as well. This is going to be fun.
All right, turn that down a little bit. Where can I get a list of the teams? I mean, you can have a little bed. It's too loud.
I know.
Too loud.
So the way I usually structure
there's a
this
method to
game,
my madness.
I
behind the
literally
board, Mr.
go through
Brinkman.
the entire standings, and I just know like who the
All right,
quarterbacks
now,
are.
do you want to go through the standings and I'll answer? Or you go through the standings. We'll answer together.
All right.
I think we're going to have consensus on most of them.
Frank, do you want to name the teams? Do you want to go through it?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll go through it. I'll play along as well because I'm
And just
cool
keep
like
track
that.
of our numbers.
I will.
All right.
And I'll keep track of my numbers,
All right, very good.
like how we do our standings.
All right.
I always keep track. I'm not going to fix them or anything.
He's qualified to do this.
I am
Yes.
qualified.
Okay.
We don't have a choice.
All right, so let me pull up the depth charts real as I get ready. So here is
We're not on the air live or anything. Take your time.
we're on the air.
I know we are.
I
It's a
know.
Joke.
Oh.
Joke.
That's the joke.
Joke, Frank.
Okay.
And that joke was brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find them
Wow.
on specializedphysicaltherapy.com. I haven't
All
done one of those in a while.
A great
I
spot.
know.
That's a seamless read.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Is this quarterback better than Nick Foles.
This is going to get out of
The
hand.
Sports Hound edition. So we're going to start over in the AFC. Let's start with the AFC East. Let's go with the Buffalo Bills own Josh Allen.
Okay, this is interesting because are we talking about right now, Josh Allen, or
Let's
what
do for the next 5 years. Let's do for the next 5 years who we'd rather have.
Foles or Allen?
That's really tough. I like Josh Allen. I think he's a hoss. Yes, I would take I would take Josh Allen over the next 5 years over Nick Foles.
Give me Mr. Foles.
I'll take the Wyoming project,
Okay.
Mr. Allen.
I feel I'm going to get heat for that, but that's okay.
No, it's
All right.
But he's only 22 years old.
I like what I see.
Yeah, I like
I like
Josh.
his Wyoming.
Big and strong. And
I
fast.
just
I
know.
didn't realize how athletic he was going to be.
I know
Oh,
Nick
yeah.
Foles can win me a big game. That's all I know.
Okay, it's fair.
All right.
Oh, can you get him?
Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Ryan Tannehill.
Nick Foles.
Nick
Easy.
Foles.
Easy. Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah.
Tannehill
I
can't
say
stay healthy.
Yep. And inconsistency in coordinators.
Yes.
Give me Foles.
Foles.
By the way, remember when we were talking earlier about which teams could possibly have Foles next season?
Yeah.
Miami's one of them for me.
Correct. Yeah.
I have two other teams I can think of, but we'll get to that when we name the team.
All right. New England.
No. I'm
For the next 5 years.
Yeah. Tom Terrific.
No, because
it's got to be Tom.
It's Tom. Come on.
Even though I don't think Tom plays for another 5, it has to be Tom.
He
Yeah.
might.
I'll take Tom for another 2 and then just figure it out from there.
And then in the near future, you have the frozen head of Tom Brady on a robot's body,
Yeah.
doing it all. All right. We go over to the Jets now.
Yeah, I'll take Foles over Darnold. I don't like saying
Foles over
I
Darnold?
don't see it. I don't see it with Darnold. Sorry.
I actually think if Darnold gets the right pieces around him, he can be better. I don't think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback, but I'm actually going to go Darnold here. I think if McCarthy goes to the Jets, teams with
Right.
Darnold, and they get a proper offensive line and one key weapon on the outside, I think
Yeah.
Darnold could be pretty good.
And the
Why?
Jets are a few pieces
you're
away.
You're
so.
a McCarthy guy.
I'm not a McCarthy guy at all, to be honest. I just keep thinking.
You understand Aaron Rodgers made McCarthy look smart, not the other way around, right?
Sure, but I still think I don't think McCarthy's a bad football coach.
I guess time will tell.
I think he's way better than Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd Bowles is a defense coordinator.
The Jets. I think with the right pieces, Darnold can be good.
And it's not saying I think Darnold's going to be a top 10. I just think he's better than
But where the
Foles
Jets are at
long-term.
right now, Bowles is not the choice, and I don't think Darnold is not playing to his pure potential.
All right, next division,
Typical
Frank.
USC
What's the
quarterbacks.
next division?
The AFC North, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
Oh, my God. I mean,
No, he's got to get better at passing.
he's not going to stay healthy.
Foles.
He's not going to – he can't stay – he's not going to be able to – if he continues playing like this, if Lamar does, he's not going to last more than 3 years.
If I'm filling out my DraftKings lineup, I'll take Jackson because he can run.
Yeah, because he's going to
but-
rush for 200.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'll take Foles.
Great rushing, but passing warns me. Give me Foles. The Bungles, the other Ginger
Foles.
Jesus.
Foles, move on.
Foles.
I'm not going to waste my time
Yep.
on 80 freaking Dalton.
Foles.
Baker Mayfield.
No, Baker Mayfield is a stud.
Baker Mayfield.
You know what? Give me Baker all the
Yeah.
way.
Baker's a stud.
Ben Roethlisberger.
It's got to be Ben.
Ben.
I know you put the next 5 years caveat in that, but I'm not really paying attention to that.
I'll
much.
figure it out. If Ben plays another 3, I'll figure it out in the remaining 2 years.
Okay. Yes, I totally agree. Ben Roethlisberger is a legend.
I'll take Ben as well. All right.
Next division,
The AFC South. Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
I'll take
Watson over Foles for sure. Yes, easy. I love Deshaun Watson. I think the Texans might win the Super Bowl.
Frank, who was my dark horse?
The Texans.
I bet on them at the Tropicana Sportsbook in like week 8. Nice little
They will be the
odds.
team to eliminate the Patriots from the playoffs.
And they'll be
Just watch.
And they will be an interesting team to watch. Hopefully, they can play like they have
We
been
got to see how these
over the
seeds
course
work
of the
out
season.
in the AFC.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And you just got to hope that the Texans don't have to travel to New England.
I think they can be. New England is not
They're not winning a playoff game.
They're not going to win. Something
not
tells
winning
me they're going to make some weird run because it's New England. Something tells me.
Next,
All right, Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
That might be the easiest one of the
Yeah.
year.
The easiest one so far.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever quarterback Jacksonville decides to use,
Yeah.
Cody Kessler or
Foles.
Blake.
It's Foles.
Foles. It's another Florida team. Foles would
That's
Yeah,
the second team
huge.
I could see.
All right.
huge asset for.
The
That's the
next
second team I could see
quarterback.
having Nick Foles next year.
Because they have pieces. If they got Foles in there, like
I have two more, but next,
The Tennessee Broto Zone, Marcus Mariota.
that's the third team. I could see
no.
them investing into Foles.
No.
That is the
I
fourth
dis-
team on this list, but I seriously think that's possible.
I disagree.
All right.
I'll
I'll see
take
it happening.
Mariota.
I think they're worried about him staying healthy.
I think Mariota gets underrated because he's not a fantasy stud.
I think he's underrated because he can't stay healthy. And I'm the
Yeah.
Frank. Am I not the biggest Mariota guy?
You are the biggest Mariota guy.
There's a reason why they call
I
Tennessee
like-
the Brodos, but
I like
yeah.
Mariota.
I will take Mariota over Foles. But
I mean, I'll take Mariota over Foles as well, but the injuries worry me with Mariota.
next division, Frank.
AFC West, Case Keenum.
obviously Foles.
Obviously Foles as well.
Well, obviously, I got Foles as well.
You put Denver on that list. Even though I think Elway's gonna
No, they're using Keenum as a bridge. They're going to go after a young kid.
Yeah.
who
They might trade up
to get.
whoever they want.
Would it be
I don't see any franchise
I
quarterbacks
don't-
at the top.
yeah.
Of the
Well,
draft.
Elway saw friggin'
Herbert?
no. Who did he? Who was the disaster?
Haskins.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
Paxton Lynch.
Saw him as a franchise guy. I
Um,
love Elway, but
No,
him
you know who's
drafting quarterbacks
You know
is not
who's
very
gonna,
good.
You know who's gonna play in Denver next year? Joe Flacco.
It's a great
Ooh.
name. That's a great name.
Elway will like that big arm, and he'll give him a shot.
Next, Mr. Vespi.
Pat Mahomes. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, okay.
Pat Mahomes. That's the easiest one.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers.
Next division, sir. Are we going over to
Wait,
the other? Oh,
Wait,
I'm
you
sorry.
forgot
You got
Mr.
the
Carr.
This might be the closest one.
I'll take Foles.
Foles.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
If you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would have said you were
I
nuts.
thought he was gonna launch into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
That contract
We had no
extension,
reason not to think so.
but
Wow.
then the injuries derailed him.
I really just said that.
Yeah.
Give me Foles.
And I'm not even mad about it. All right, yeah, Foles.
Foles.
As much as I hate to say it, give me Foles. All right, now we go over to the NFC. Let's go north again. Josh Rosen. NFC West, not north.
NFC West.
NFC
Josh Rosen.
Josh
I think
Rosen.
Josh Rosen completely blows. So I'm gonna take Foles. I don't care if Josh Rosen is 22 or whatever he is.
I'm going to actually go Rosen here.
What do you see that I don't?
I see. Well, it's not about him. I think he's in no position to succeed. I think his O-line sucks.
point.
His O-line sucks.
I think his coach sucks. I think his coordinators suck. He doesn't have enough weapons on the outside. He was just thrown into the mix. They have just no key management of him
and
right now.
All right,
especially
fair point.
But he
fair
has
point.
not
especially-
looked good, but I think
Let's
it's
move
more
on.
of
and especially
reputation.
when he goes back up, you have. Oh, I break my knees every time, Bradford, and giraffe Mike Lennon.
I'll move on to the next one.
Give me
Foles or Garoppolo.
Give me Foles.
Foles or Garoppolo.
Foles or Garoppolo.
Foles. Right? Garoppolo's got a.
I have not seen Garoppolo do anything.
And
I
obviously,
don't-
we're going to take Foles over Mullins.
I really want to see what Garoppolo can do.
I'm going to go Foles.
That feels weird, but I'm going to stand by it.
But here's the thing. Garoppolo won 6 straight. Fantastic.
6
That's
straight.
fantastic. Then he got hurt. He's gotten hurt 3 times in his career already, and he's played like 9 games.
Yeah.
There's something to that. It's close. I'm
It's
going Foles.
close.
Yeah. I feel better about
And
it
feel
after you
free
broke
to
it down.
anybody that wants to rip me for that, feel free. I will ask,
Dude, rip
what
away.
has Garoppolo done?
Rip away.
I know
Rip
what Foles
away.
has done.
Rip me, too. I love
Next,
getting-
Mr. Vespi.
I love getting ripped.
I'll say Foles.
It's fun.
Oh.
It's fun. To a degree, it's fun.
To a degree, yes.
Yes.
Next,
Russell Wilson.
Wilson.
Russ, yeah.
I'll take Russ as well.
Next,
Jared Goff.
Interesting.
Now that's the other weird one.
Interesting.
put my feet up here for a second.
Can we go back? Can we pass?
For a second there, I thought your shoe was untied.
Can we pass, Frank? Let's pass.
Do you want to pass on it?
Yeah, I want to do that one last.
All right, go south. All right, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Even though I think he has no killer instinct and he can't get it done in big spots, I'm still going to go Matt Ryan because he has more talent.
All right.
Yeah, but of the elite quarterbacks, like Matt Ryan is not one, but he's like right.
He's
below.
a fringe elite quarterback.
You know what he is?
He's won the MVP of the NFL.
You know what he is? And this is a compliment to Matt Ryan.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
He is the line I always display when I'm comparing quarterbacks is,
Are you better than Matt Ryan?
yes.
Or are you worse
And
than
that's a
Matt Ryan?
compliment. Like, he is the bar.
Yeah, I don't think
And
Matt
Foles is
Ryan.
under that bar.
He's like the
I don't think
Mendoza
Matt, I don't
line
think
of
Matt Ryan would see it as a compliment.
Yeah.
But
Well,
whatever.
I'm a Matt
That's
Ryan
fine.
hater,
When
so I'm
describe-
gonna. That's a very nice thing for me to say about Matt
When
Ryan.
describing Matt Ryan, he's like football's version of the Mendoza line. Like,
All right,
is
Jesus
he?
Christ.
That's not fair.
Cam Newton or Foles?
All right, Camera Falls.
I mean, I
hate
don't want to
Cam.
jinx anything.
I
but
hate Cam Newton.
I used to be a big
I'm gonna
Cam
take,
guy.
I'm going to take Foles. I was out on Cam when he didn't jump on that ball in the Super Bowl.
That's a big moment. I'm
Huge
glad you
Nick
brought that up.
Foles. Nick Foles is breaking his leg, his arm, collarbone, whatever to get that football. Cam Newton's a mutt.
You know what makes it very difficult for me?
Yeah.
The sheer talent and the monster that Cam Newton is. That's what gives me.
He's a mental midget.
I know, but there's some. I mean, the guy is a linebacker who can throw sometimes.
Yeah.
Who plays offense.
And he's mobile.
He has bad intangibles. I'm
This will
taking
be.
Foles.
You can take this as the controversial one. I'm going Cam Newton based off of just. The guy is a monster.
Well, my take is more controversial, taking Foles over
Yeah.
a Heisman Trophy #1 overall
I'm going
pick
to take Cam
And MVP.
in this one.
and MVP.
That's true. All right. Touche.
You can't.
Touche.
You can't.
That makes me feel better.
You can't not jump on that ball in the Super Bowl.
No,
and be on my team. I'm
You're
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
And the way he just melted in the press booth after the
and basically the
I
meltdown
forgot
season the
about
season
that.
after.
Yeah.
melted.
All right, where we at?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Yeah, no, Drew Brees.
Brees.
Yeah.
Easy breezy.
And finally,
Whatever quarterback Tampa decides to go with.
Yeah.
this
Famous
Mr. Brinkman.
Jameis or
First off, it's
Fitzmagic.
Foles.
Yeah,
this,
it's-
Mr. Brinkman, is
That's-
my
yeah.
number one team. I believe will acquire Nick Foles this offseason. I believe he will be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Okay, he's gonna be. He's gonna play in Florida. I'll go that
Yep.
far. Dolphins, Jags, Bucks.
Yep.
One of them.
I believe he will be a
Yeah.
Buccaneer.
All right. The NFC North. Kirk Cousins.
Hate him. I hate Kirk
All right,
Cousins.
we
He-
know-
he,
we
he
know what you got.
stinks. He stinks.
Oh,
Stinks.
and 7 in Monday Night Football.
Stinks,
1
stinks, stunk.
and 6 in Sunday Night Football. 0-1 in playoffs. Frank, you know what that means?
Foles.
Nick Foles.
Foles. Foles.
Correct.
Foles.
Love it.
Foles.
Next,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
I wonder if even like the biggest Foles people would even say Foles over Rodgers. I wonder if there's somebody that exists on this planet.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said that. You know there is.
You know there is. I'm not going to say who it
well,
is.
next.
I don't know who.
I don't know who it
anybody
is.
like that.
I just don't.
You know someone like that?
No. I was trying to set. I
Okay.
was trying to ruffle your feathers there, but
Next.
but I don't want to ruffle said person's feathers. Matthew Stafford.
This was the angst. This is the one I threw at Frank before the show, and it was tough.
Oh, get him, please. Just make his life miserable, New Orleans. I'm
If
sorry.
he gets hit, he'll crumble.
Yeah.
That's why Nick Foles is better than him.
You're going to make me pick Foles in a couple minutes. I'm going to go
Matthew-
Stafford. You know why? They have done nothing in Detroit to surround him with a formidable offensive line,
You're right.
a solid running back.
got it. I'll
I
go
know
Stafford.
Kerryon Johnson's good, but this is
Right.
the first inkling or any sign he's had of that in a long time.
And especially when you had the town, when Megatron was around, nothing was done to secure that duo.
Stafford.
There was a stretch. He went playoffs like 2-3 straight years. Stafford.
Yeah,
I'd take Stafford.
It's close, though.
I'll take. I forgot what I said.
Stafford.
When we
You didn't answer.
I didn't answer. Oh yeah. But if I had the choice,
Okay, if it didn't happen on the air, it didn't happen.
all right, it didn't happen on the air.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Great point.
You know what? I'm going to go with Stafford.
Next, sir.
That's all three of us on Stafford?
How about
I
that?
was-
I
yeah,
did
I
not
thought
think
one
that
of
was
us-
going to happen at all.
All right. Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I really like Mitchell.
He's
Excuse
gonna.
me. Yes, I'll take
He's
I'll
gonna
take
fit.
Trubisky over Foles.
See, as Chrome would say, I am a Mitch Trubisky hater, and I am, by the way.
Based on what?
I know a
What is-
guy who knew Mitch back in college.
Yeah.
Crumb?
Not a crumb, but he was basically. He told me straight up that his hand was held all throughout college. He can't run an offense or anything, and I think that's kind of what's happening here. I think Matt Nagy is that good. But in all honesty, I'm probably going to go Foles, to be completely honest with you.
Foles over Trubisky?
I don't like. I'm not a Mitchell guy. It's
Okay.
close.
You did call him Mitch. He doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Mitchell, excuse me.
I'll take Trubisky. Now we
Okay.
go East.
This is the last division, right?
Last division, and
So
plus,
we're going to have,
we need to go back on Jared Goff because you
Correct.
didn't.
yes.
All right. Rain Dakota Prescott.
Foles.
Foles.
Foles. Eli Manning.
Foles.
Eli.
Whatever quarterback Washington decides to go with.
Eli's better quarterback than Nick Foles. Sorry.
We better move on to that one. Foles.
Wait. All right.
Foles.
The Washington quarterbacks. Colt McCoy, Mark Sanchez.
Well, I'm going to work under the impression that Alex Smith is
He's
probably never going to play.
Yeah,
again,
Yeah, I
so
think
I'm
he's
gonna
done,
take
unfortunately.
Foles.
Foles.
Foles. And that is it for the East.
I guess I got to take Goff
And
over.
Jared
I
Goff
gotta take
is your
Goff
last
over
one.
Foles.
I'll take Goff, but you can get to him very easily, and he's not going to be. I think he's going to be a liability in the playoffs. To say it.
All right,
bluntly.
Yeah.
so how many quarterbacks are better than
You
Nick
can kill
Foles?
that, Frank.
All right. Let me pause that, John. There we go. All
You
right.
can lower it. I mean, you don't have to. Like,
Well, you know. When
anyway,
you say cut it, you say cut it. Just saying.
gotcha. So what else you got?
All right. How many quarterbacks? You know what? I'll do the tally. I'll get back to you
All
in a
right.
couple
Well,
moments.
while we're doing the tally, you and I both said that we had a range, like a number we thought Foles was in.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be 20 to 25, and I think he's right there based on my answers.
I had 17 to 23, so I agree.
Okay.
So right around that same.
Let's talk about the Sixers. They're playing the Spurs right now. They're in San Antonio. They're currently down, 8 points as they near halftime. The Spurs stink. What is going? DeMar DeRozan was banned. Like what?
Well, what's
Why
the
is
stat
this?
line?
Why
What are we
is this
doing here?
team? Why does this team do this? What do they need to be an elite team?
Chandler actually has some points. That's good for him.
I don't see an elite team right now. Like I see a very good team.
I see an identity crisis. To
I
be
don't see a
completely
team.
honest.
I don't see a team in the Sixers that can beat the Raptors in a 7-game series.
No, the Raptors are the best team in the league.
The league, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they did what they did to the Warriors, and I'm not basing it off of one game, but
Christmas is usually when I really dive into
who the best is.
like the league outside the Sixers.
Gotcha. I believe they're deep. I think.
Toronto's very good,
Mm-hmm.
but like Houston's gonna get it together. Too much talent.
Yeah, I think
The
they're going to go on
Thunder
a
are
crazy
good.
winning streak at the end of the
The
season.
Warriors are obviously good. Like the Clippers are fake.
Yeah, there's just these teams that show up at the beginning
I
of the
think
season.
the Nuggets are for real.
I was watching Denver the other night when they played OKC.
Yeah, who won that game?
Denver.
They're good.
They're one of these teams that doesn't have a big name superstar.
They have
They just figure it out.
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola
my first
Jokic.
round fantasy basketball pick.
That's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick.
I know Joel Embiid went right before me. I was crushed.
I would have been
Take
crushed
Jokic.
too. No, but
What-
I honestly think
What does this team need? This team needs a point guard above everything. And they also need a big guy because you look at the last two losses.
Oh, he's not. I was going to point to him, but he's not even on the.
Who? Milton?
Nope.
What?
There's a
All
guy
right.
that's usually in the depth chart, or usually in the has not entered game, did not play list. that I believe they're waiting for. His name is Justin Patton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the big guy from Creighton.
Yep, who was drafted around. I believe he was like 15th overall a couple years ago.
I guess.
He was part of the
But
Zach Levine trade.
You look at their last 2 losses. They lose to the Nets again because Fultz screws them because T.J. McConnell can't guard Spencer Dinwiddie and he goes for 40 off the bench. And then you lose to the Pacers the other night because Sabonis and Miles Turner, Embiid can only guard one of them.
Didn't we lose to the Pistons as well without Blake Griffin?
Yes.
No, they won that game.
Wait.
We won the first Pistons game when we were in Detroit. I think we lost that second one.
No, they lost the first one when Simmons didn't play.
You're right. No,
Then they beat them.
Frank, can you double check on that?
He's doing the
probably-
tally.
I did
I'm
the
sorry.
tally.
Oh, you
I
did the tally.
Yes.
So before we completely change gears, so what was the tally?
What's the
on
tally?
the Nick Foles?
All right. Basically, very similar stats. Rob had 16 out of 32 quarterbacks.
So you have him ranked 17th.
Slightly higher than I thought.
Me and Ryan, 17.
17
32.
better?
17 better.
So I have him. I have him as the 17th best quarterback.
And we have
in
him
the
as
league,
the 18th.
and you have him as the 18th.
And is that ridiculous?
No. We just broke it.
I
we just
had-
comprehensively broke it down.
Basically.
There's a lot of bad quarterbacks out there.
I thought it was, like I said, 17 to 23
Right.
was the Foles range.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of this is as far as why he's so high, it's because of a Super Bowl. It's because of playoff victories.
Right.
We know that he's not consistent. We know that right now he's a backup quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback. But we also know that there's a lot of fraudulent starting quarterbacks right now. That's the problem.
Right.
Or guys that are too young.
Half the league by my count.
Yes. There are a lot of guys that either A, are too young to be anything at the moment, B, have been in the league and have done nothing, or C, are right in the middle and we just know their ceiling. And then Foles comes in and he trumps all of it. Because, yes, he is inconsistent, but he is a big game quarterback, and he did what he did last season. That elevates it over everybody.
So does everyone? All three of us have Wentz over Foles.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well, we got to add. We didn't.
So add
we
one.
didn't do that one.
So add one.
Foles
basically.
is a
So I have him as
Foles-
18th. You both have him as 19th.
Which is understandable.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
And even before before we went on the air, I said, well, Foles could be somewhere. He's basically a top 20, 25 guy. If you put every
I have him safely in the top 20.
yeah, he's easily in that 20 range.
and that's
when
fine.
it comes to quarterbacks,
Especially given the recency bias that not that we have, but when a guy wins a Super Bowl, it transcends everything else.
I understand, but if you're a Kansas City Chiefs guy or a whatever, New Orleans Saints fan who are just Nick Foles is in. I watched him prime time in the playoffs. Win Atlanta, beat Minnesota, beat Tom Brady, and now they're 13-point underdogs in his first start since week 2, and they won. Nick Foles must be pretty good if you're a casual fan in New Orleans, Atlanta, Kansas City. Because I feel like sometimes people like us, we get trapped in our sports bubble, and we assume that everyone is as knowledgeable or, nerdy, as you will, as we are about sports.
You just described my life.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
everyone's not like that. People aren't going to look at the fact that, Wentz can throw the ball way farther than Nick Foles.
He can extend a play
Or
better
that
than
he's
anyone else
more
can.
athletic. They just look, every time I turn on the Eagles, Wentz seems to be hurt, and Nick Foles comes in and plays well and wins him the game.
Did you see that, by the way?
Yeah. That's not looking good for my. I guess I can't take Foles over Cam.
I want to ask you this. So, and I'll give them.
I can't take. So add one more. So we all have him the same as the
Yeah.
19th quarterback.
So this is me. I have Lutz right now. So that's the projection. What do you like? How do you like my chances right now? It's gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
You're
real.
gonna lose.
I think I am as well.
Yeah.
Because if he gets one touchdown, it's over.
yeah.
Right.
Now, is it a rushing touchdown or
He's
Anything.
gonna-
Anything.
what's the margin?
So basically, for the people at home and for Frank, so here's the deal. If you weren't tuned in at the beginning of the show, I'll update you. So myself and James Wilder are involved in the A2. Are we A2D East, Frank? You guys are West?
Yeah.
The A2D East
Tom has
fantasy football.
Tom has divisions within the divisions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He loves divisions.
We're in the championship right now, and right now I am leading 119.1 to 108.4. James Wilder has Cam Newton right now, and I have Will Lutz going right now. Cam Newton has 1.5 points, 54 yards and an interception. Will Lutz is 2 for 2 field goals with 7 points.
You're
It's
almost
a tease.
you're almost at halftime. This is closer than it should be.
This is why I'm going to be very upset when I lose by a point.
McCaffrey chucking that ball down the field, that really helped you a lot. A lot.
And the big thing with the Saints is that they're not doing anything in the red zone.
And if they kick a field goal here, if they can hold them, you might win.
Oh, that means he's going to throw over here. Yep, there you go.
Where he can
No!
I take it back.
Yes!
I take Foles.
Yes!
I change again. I take Foles.
Oh, it's a game now.
What a stinky throw.
Oh man!
How about the timing of that?
Yeah. So what's the current margin right now for you?
It hasn't dropped yet.
All right.
It hasn't.
But what was it prior
What
to the pick?
What a horrible throw.
So right now I'm leading by I have 119.1. My projection is to get to 123.4.
Yeah.
He's at 108.4. His projection is 120.5.
Ooh.
But obviously we all know if Cam Newton gets into the end zone via rushing he throws a touchdown, that's going to
You just got to hope he doesn't rush one in. And
I just need to hope what's happening right now continues to happen.
yeah.
I can't believe you just threw a pick right there.
I can't believe it.
Horrible. It was terrible. I change it back.
Holy
I change it back, Frank. I've changed my vote on
what
Cam
a
Newton.
chain of events.
Wow.
Nick Foles would never throw that ball. Ever.
Wow.
In a
that's right.
trillion freaking years.
Even though he kind of did last night to Aqib Talib, but we're not going to talk about that because we won the game. We won the game.
It's not in the end zone.
That's true.
The end of a half, like when you have 3.
You're right. Situationally, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And like he's not throwing to Nick Foles is throwing that to Alshon Jeffrey. He's throwing it to Devin Funches, who's not anywhere near the player that Alshon Jeffrey is. Alshon Jeffrey would at least have a chance to take that ball away from that DB. Who was that? Eli Apple? That stiff?
Yeah, was that if he just threw it and Eli Apple just intercepted Cam Newton?
Let's figure it out.
Speaking of Alshon, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he one of these guys in the NFL who is always covered but isn't? And that's a contradictory
Alshon
statement.
Jeffrey is a tremendous receiver.
He can be covered, but he's never truly covered.
He's a tremendous talent.
Yes.
It was,
He's
in
absolutely
fact,
tremendous,
Eli
yes.
Apple.
So I take Nick. I change it back, Frank. Put it on the book.
The suspense.
Wow.
The guy stinks, man. He goes to the Super Bowl. He doesn't dive on the fumble. He acts like a total buffoon in his press conference. He dresses like a total jackass all the time. No sense of style, no sense of class. He's a mope when things go wrong. He's the biggest showboat when things are going right.
I'm laughing because you're absolutely right.
He's just so unlikable. Give me Nick Foles. I change it back. I take it back, Nick. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Look what A2 just put on.
What?
You know, he turned down a full ride to Gonzaga to play football at Arizona. I think he went, right? Arizona State? Arizona?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Gonzaga.
anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, go over to the A2D social medias in a little bit. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. You know, I'm actually going to show it to you guys. I want you guys to go over there anyway, but here, I'm going to show it to you.
Show it.
Talk to the people.
Sixers half, 60-49. I don't understand why they played down to their competition. The Spurs absolutely stink.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Ben Simmons.
He could easily pass as an NBA player.
Ben Simmons. He had a full ride to Gonzaga and chose to play football. Like Gonzaga. They're ranked number 4 in the country right now.
Listen, if he would have played basketball, he wouldn't have a statue right now. It's a
How
very
do you know?
good decision.
How do you know? You don't know that.
It's fair.
What could have been, Mr. Brodo?
Well, he wouldn't have had a statue in Philadelphia unless he came here and
maybe
we drafted him instead of
maybe
Okafor or something.
Like,
maybe he would have got a statue in Philadelphia, but at the Wells Fargo Center. not at the link.
So DeMar DeRozan is torching the Sixers. He's 7 for 11, 16 points.
Why
It's
is
not
it?
a shocker. Where's Jimmy? Why isn't he on? Like,
What are they doing? So let's see.
Jimmy Butler has 4 points. I don't think Jimmy Butler should be playing yet. I would rest him
What do you think? He's still
to
hurt?
all eternity. A groin?
Oh, my balls.
Never heard that one. Is that a reference? I hope.
I don't know. I said it last week.
Oh, okay.
Beavis and Butthead, I
Yeah.
thought.
I don't know. I heard
What?
it somewhere. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to
Please
say
God,
when
just
somebody
make
talks
that
about their
be a
injury.
reference instead of Frank just saying that out of his
But-
mind.
You get
I heard it from somewhere.
I
No,
don't
you're
get it.
you're right though, Rob.
they're not playing any defense tonight. Every single starter is the whole team is in
Oh,
negatives.
Idiocracy.
Negatives. Yeah, that's the show they watched in Idiocracy.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you then, Rob.
Yeah.
What if you're the organization? If you are Elton Brand, what are you doing over the next month?
I'm getting a point guard ASAP.
You have a guy in mind?
No, I don't.
Do you have a specific player that you believe is either going to get bought out or is available for
Here's
trade?
a name I'll throw out there, and I'll get ripped, but I don't care.
Oh, I know exactly. Who you're going.
And it's he's a knucklehead, but I'm a fan of his skill set, and I think he could help. And it's J.R. Smith. I know he's a knucklehead. Now I didn't do any research. I came in hot with football. Do you have names about who's available? Ariz is off the board. He's on the Wizards now.
Well, there's
that
a
was
couple.
weird. That was weird, huh? When all that went down, they got the Brookses confused. So the
Oh, I
trade
don't want
fell
that
through.
Brooks. I want the other Brooks. Oh, you wanted that Brooks? All right, no deal. Like it was just so. It was such a weird chain
Such
of
a
events.
Memphis thing to do. But yeah, I mean, someone like
So a couple fantasy trades I have, and one's not even on the table right now because it involves Fultz. And,
I read that the Pistons are in the Fultz.
I did see.
Can I drive him there? They can just have him. I don't need anything. They can have him. I hate
Alex Briggs, if you're listening,
Yeah.
please take him with you.
him and Raymond brothers. I'll pay for the airfare to get them out of here.
So
Him
you're
and Raymond
out.
brothers.
You're just 100%
Out.
out. All right.
What did when he shot that foul shot where he
The stutter, yeah,
The
the
stutter
yips.
foul
He has
shot.
the yips. Yes.
it's like, dude, come on. Are you kidding me?
We have Jay Hot. I'm gonna read Jay Hot's comment real quick, and then I'll
Yeah.
get to the
Hey,
fantasy trade.
J Hot.
Yeah, what's up, Jay Hot? He says people live in 2017. Foles excels, and the team responds. Wentz is not an elite quarterback. Oh, here we go. People have no
boy.
basis to call Foles a backup or inferior quarterback when all he does is win. Wentz might be that guy soon, but now no. People for some reason can't criticize Wentz. It's odd.
That is true.
I mean, he is the golden boy. I will say
But
that.
that is true. He lives above criticism in this town.
In some people's minds, yes.
Correct.
Not all. Like we talk about the realists.
A lot of people.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think that's the same thing with Foles as well. Like, and Jay Hot, like I appreciate you always chiming in.
To say Wentz is not elite.
Well,
I mean,
you also
that's
can't
rid-
say
that's
all
ridiculous.
Foles does is win because I can go back. Like, I'm not even going to do the whole, like, oh, well, you're living in the past thing. He really didn't do that. I mean, he wasn't lighting it up in the first 2 games this season.
No, he was terrible.
But that's the funny thing. Like, it's so easy for people, not J-Hot, but it's so easy for people to forget about how Wentz carried them for the first bulk of the season until Los Angeles. Everyone forgets about that, but then everyone wants to also forget the fact
dude was
that
11-2 with
he was
like
the MVP.
33
He was the MVP.
touchdowns and like 4 interceptions. It was ridiculous.
But then everyone wants to also forget that Foles looked awful for the first 2 games he played this season. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going back because everyone falls into this trap like, oh, well, what about with St. Louis? What about Kansas City? What about the first time he was with the Eagles? He didn't do anything.
First off, he had Jeff Fisher. as his
Exactly.
coach
That's
in
why I
Kansas
never bring that up, ever. Because it's a different team, it's a different situation, it's a different organization.
City. Terrible coach, Jeff Fisher. Terrible coach.
But I
Awful.
can also say that Foles, while he was great for us last season, in the Super Bowl, postseason, all that, and he was very good last night. He wasn't great. I mean, let's be real here. Did he finish off that football game? No. He had a great third quarter, and they did nothing offensively in the fourth quarter. I mean, again, that's a real thing. Now, is that a shot at Foles? No. But if anyone could say that they played 4 strong quarters of football in that game last night, then they're kidding themselves. You would agree with that, right, Rob? I mean, it's a situation where, you know the reason why it was so scary at the end of the game as to why the Rams had a shot to win?
Wait.
What?
That was the most complete game the Eagles have played this season. No?
I disagree with that.
I mean,
You think that the offense finished off that game in the fourth quarter? They didn't put up any points.
They had.
I mean, that's a real.
The Rams are good, bro.
They weren't good, but we exposed them in the first 3 quarters, and then we didn't do anything. And I'm not blaming Foles. That's not a shot at Foles. That's just if you want to put games to bed.
I mean, Talib.
I'm just telling you.
But Nick Foles isn't good enough to just bury someone like that.
I know that, but I'm talking to the people that want to say that he was a god last night and going on Twitter saying this is flashbacks to the Super Bowl.
Nick
It's
Foles,
not.
Nick Foles is not going to go out there and have 4 drives and lead the team on 4 straight touchdown drives.
I know.
Carson
I
Wentz
know
can.
that.
Carson
I
can.
know that. But some fans don't.
There's gonna be tiny lulls in the game
Yes.
when you have Foles in there. And you just have to hope that everyone else
Exactly.
overcomes that lull.
My only point.
He played well enough. It's all body of work
Right.
with Foles. It's
Yes.
the body
Yes.
of work.
Exactly.
It's not the wow factor like he has with Wentz. It's the body of work. His 60 minutes of football, albeit, minutes 1 through 45, he played extraordinarily well in minutes 1 through 45, and they held on.
I'll ask you this: what was the biggest
All-
moment in the fourth quarter?
Todd Gurley not running out of bounds.
Before that, what was the biggest moment?
They
Something we haven't been able to do.
drop the punt,
It was a turnover.
right?
Avante
Which we
Maddox'
capitalized
end
on.
zone.
Which they had 3 last night.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
The reason why I bring up the fact that, quote unquote, the offense didn't finish the game, Foles didn't play great last night, was that I'm directing that at the people that want to say that he did play
But
great last
You're
night.
taking it. No, he did. Foles did not play 60 minutes of great football.
No, they
But
didn't
that's
score a
because he's
point
not
in
a
the-
franchise quarterback. He's whatever the 18th best quarterback in the league.
And that's why I'm not mad or criticizing. My only point is this. And the Rams, this is on the Rams because they had 2 legitimate shots to do this. If they tie that game and we head into overtime and we lose, you know what the main storyline of this game is? We didn't finish off a game.
True.
So even the fact that we won, it doesn't change
And
the
it's funny
narrative
'cause-
for me.
And it's funny because Foles would have gotten 0 of that blame.
Thus
Right.
making my point.
Which
exactly.
is why it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
It makes
Thank
no
you.
sense.
See, you agree with me, right?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The reason I said it the first 5 minutes, I'll say it
I
again.
agree with your end point. I don't agree with how you got there.
So you think I went A to
I think they
J
played-
to Z back to B
I think they played much better
defensively?
as a whole for 60 minutes
They-
than you're giving them credit.
No,
for.
no, no,
They
no, no.
played better. I'll
No,
give
no.
them that.
See, this is the
They played
misconception.
better.
As a whole, I agree with you. I'm strictly talking about the offensive
about-
side of the ball. That's it. The defense played great.
Right, but you have to it happened in the fourth quarter last night, so it's extrapolated. But there's going to be games where, he starts slow and maybe doesn't
Yes.
find his rhythm until the middle of the second quarter or
I
the
got that.
second half.
I got that.
It just happened in the fourth quarter last night. But stagnancy like that is going to happen
100%.
with Foles in there because he's not a franchise quarterback.
No, listen, I mean, Wentz did enough. I'm sorry, Foles did enough to win that game last night.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm not taking anything away from
Absolutely.
him. I'm not going to take a shot at him for the interception. I'm not going to
It
go.
was kind of a good play by Talib.
No, it was. I mean, listen, I'm not a
It
Keith
wasn't.
Talib
It
fan,
wasn't.
but
It wasn't. It wasn't. What the?
it was a good defensive move.
What the
Yeah.
fudge are you doing, Nick? kind of
No.
thing.
It was a great defensive move by Aqib Talib. It just comes down to my entire point is going after the people that want to say,
All right, Jay Hot's back.
yeah, go through
The,
Jay.
the stepbrother is doing his thing. The golden boy is not. That's reality. We can't just assume Wentz is elite. He needs to do it consistently. Look, I mean, Jay Hot, if you don't think Wentz is elite quarterback, I think you're a fool. I completely disagree. You're entitled to your opinion. I think if you think Nick Foles gives you a better chance to win over the next 5 years over Carson Wentz,
J-Hot,
it's not even worth entering a conversation, I disagree that much.
J-Hot, you've been chiming into a bunch of our shows, on A2D for a while now, so I love you. But my one question, and the main reason why I disagree with you on the whole Wentz not elite thing, we weren't saying that when he was playing last season and he was the MVP clear cut. Like, that's my only – this is why I get frustrated, not just strictly
That's why
J-Hot.
people are still
the
Wentzed
wrong
up because
things.
of that.
Right.
People forget the wrong things here. It's not shot straight at J-Hot here. It's a lot of the fans. People want to remember certain things, and they just want to say, oh, Foles was our season last year. Foles wouldn't have been there without Wentz doing what he did.
Exactly.
Wentz set this team up to only have to put up a layup to get home field advantage, which we knew we all needed with what we had.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially with Foles playing.
Yes.
Right.
Now,
They wouldn't go to Atlanta. They weren't going to Atlanta in the divisional round and winning.
See, the sad thing is, none of us will know, and thankfully we won't know because we want it.
Yeah.
But
how about if the Rams stepped up and won their home playoff game, and we got to go out? I forget how the seeds played out in the NFC.
No, we would have had
Let's say the Eagles had to go out to
we were the number one seed.
So they would have had to come here.
They would have to come here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So
but we still had the threat of, all right, what was LA going to do had they come over to Philly? That was the other thing. It was either LA or New Orleans.
We would have had the Saints in the division round if the Rams won. Correct.
Right.
Which would with Foles, in my opinion, would have been a stone loss.
Right. And that's what I was thinking too. And then with that happening, especially on how the Saints defense performed at that time, I'm just glad we haven't gone to the what could have been or what would have been had the Rams won that game or the Saints coming over here.
I hear you.
It's so weird thinking about it because it's like, oh, what could have been? We could have been amazing.
Maybe I'm just trapped in my sports nerd bubble.
With what?
With Wentz being just clear cut better than Foles. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Foles is just that dude who
he's serviceable. That's all I can say about Foles.
And he's gonna show up when you need him the most.
Right.
I don't know.
So let me ask you this.
It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense.
Couple rapid fire questions, okay? Is there any part of your mind that thinks, even if it's 1%, that thinks the Eagles should try and look into extending Foles?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that like a good portion of your mindset?
Like, why would you not?
Well, the money. It's devoting a lot of money into.
You can't not have a reliable franchise quarterback when Wentz is always hurt.
I understand that, but in an off season where you're gonna have to, or
yeah,
two
but
an next off season.
It doesn't matter if you don't have a quarterback. It doesn't matter who else is playing.
So, are you then? I'll change it then. Are you willing, as an organization, if you were them, to say whatever you want,
unless you really like Nick Sudfeld?
Yeah, that's the other thing. That it's like I know the Eagles are set. I know they want to do something with Sudfeld, and I think they want to develop Sudfeld to be that Nick Foles.
I completely disagree. You know why, Frank?
But when I saw
Frank,
Sudfeld,
no,
I wasn't.
No, I completely disagree with you.
Throwing the ball in gym shorts? Like, come on. I've seen
Frank,
Nick Foles be good in the game.
Yeah,
you can't buy in to the whole propaganda. Jim Schwartz, the Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson saying, "Oh my God, Nate Sudfeld has star quality."
But I'm not saying that Sudfeld has star quality.
No, I'm not saying you are. But my point is, don't buy into how you think that they have a plan for him. You know what their plan is? Honestly, answer the question. What do you think? What do you think the real reason as to why they're saying that so openly for no reason?
So they can trade him.
Boom. They're trying to up his value. Why do you think they constantly keep him on the active roster instead of putting him on practice squad? Oh, I don't know. Because 4 teams in the last year and a half have tried to poach him.
Right.
So they already has a market.
Right.
So they recognize, oh, wait,
I hear ya.
This kid already has a basis market. We're going to talk about him consistently. Therefore, hey.
Let's hype him up. You see what we can do with him.
You can't. whatever. If it's not Foles, you got to have someone who can go in there
Tyrod
and play
Taylor.
football. Stop.
No,
Stop.
no Taylor.
You sound like Brad. Stop.
What? No Tyrod Taylor?
No, I'm good.
Why?
I don't
Why?
I don't think he's that good.
Well, he's a backup quarterback. There you go. There you go. We're not
Right.
talking about start. We're not talking about replacement for Wentz. There is no replacement for
Yes,
Wentz.
we are talking about replacement for Wentz because if Wentz gets hurt, then Tyrod Taylor's the guy, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
My only point is I can't imagine this team putting $60 million into two quarterbacks.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you have to re-sign X, Y, and Z, and you have to get deeper in positions.
I mean, this is an off-season conversation, but how comfortable are you committing 30% of your salary cap to a quarterback, while be it a blue-chip franchise quarterback, but he's always hurt?
Well, that goes back to my initial point on, hey, Wentz, I wouldn't do it, but can you pull with Tom Brady? Why do you think I brought it up? Because it'd be so much easier.
Yeah, but I think that's unrealistic for fans to expect.
I agree,
exactly.
and I completely agree.
And
with you.
I just.
You don't like the narrative. I understand.
Yeah,
it's unfair.
I hate it. Yeah, it's unfair.
But Carson, if you would do it, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, as would I. As would everyone.
Right.
No, I mean this is.
You're more likely to get Nick Foles be like, no, I like Philly. I'm good in Philly. I win the Super Bowl every year I play in Philly. I'm just gonna give me what you can, and I'll stand over here when Carson Wentz. There's a better chance of that happening than Carson Wentz.
Sure.
On his first contract extension.
I just don't think there's a chance in hell
to do
Foles does that. I think he thinks as soon, especially after another opportunity and he does what he does, there has to be some part of it. I don't care. Nick Foles is so nice of a guy.
Yeah.
So where, like, obviously last night he says, like, oh, I'm not thinking about it, even though there's a human aspect of me who thinks about the future. He knows there's going to be at least 5 teams that are offering him
There
stuff.
will be a team that'll offer him.
Well, there's more than that. What did I have him as, the 18th quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but just because we recognize that doesn't mean the teams do.
Yes, but this is between the hours of 8 and 10 on Monday, and that's the only sports opinion that matters.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
It's tough. It's going to be tough.
It is.
But you know, these are first off, these are good problems to have.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad we're even talking Eagles football at this point.
Good, healthy problems to talk about.
Are they going to win? I know it's Monday. It's tough. It's a tough question.
You can ask me whatever you want.
Are they going to win Sunday? They are a 1-point favorite at home against the Houston Texans.
Frank, we have cold weather coming. Meteorologist.
Let me pull up the weather. As of right now.
Right now, Rob.
They are looking at.
Cold weather benefits the Eagles, correct?
The current temperature for Sunday is 44 degrees around kickoff.
No, that's fine. That's not a.
But is it?
I'm not basing this off of the weather. If you're asking me right now, I'm going to say no.
I kind of agree.
I kind of
this
agree
team
as well.
has been nothing but a gigantic tease this entire year.
Well, the Texans are a better team than the Rams, in my opinion.
Yeah. They have
that defense means business.
They have more dynamic players on the outside. I mean, here's the key.
I know they stifled the Rams off defensive line, who has 4 first-round picks on it, but you're going to keep Watt, Clowney, that guy 55, their middle linebacker. That guy is everywhere.
Well, let's go back to the offensive side of their offensive side of the ball. What's the biggest difference between Jared Goff and Deshaun Watson?
Well, he has DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
No, not what he has around him. Just
he can run.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. It'd be a tough game.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I will say this: if they find a way to beat the Houston Texans, they're 10,000% put your entire life savings on them against the Redskins.
Oh my God. Well, I'll just say this.
Hopefully, it's enough.
If they win,
because I definitely see them going 8-8. What they're 6? What's the record right now?
7-7.
9-7 gets you in.
9-7 gets you in. With a bunch of implications. It's
not a bunch. The Carolina needs to win.
It's a lot. It's a lot of what ifs.
Carolina needs to lose one game, and Minnesota needs to lose one game.
If they might beat the Saints tonight because they're at home and they just really need this game, but they are
then
not
they'll lose
beating.
in 2 weeks.
They're not beating the Saints in Week 17. If
No.
the Saints have anything to play for in the Superdome.
Exactly.
The other part of it, the Vikings have to play Detroit and Chicago. Chicago in Week 17 will still have something to play for.
Still has something to play for,
You'd
which
think.
includes home, which will
100%.
include
You
the
would
whole.
think.
Yeah,
100%. Well, no, they have
Especially
to because it's
the
so
home-
bunched.
because
Everything is bunched.
Chicago's still in position to get a first-round bye.
Chicago can get the number 1 seed, which sounds crazy.
Well,
Yeah, I got you.
I think
You're right.
New
No,
Orleans
you're
still
right.
has
Now
a
that
chance
I
to get
think
that
about
number
it.
one.
Well, but
They
here's the
win
thing.
tonight,
Well,
the
if New
one
Orleans
seed's
loses
theirs.
tonight,
Yeah,
Chicago wins
Yeah,
out,
that's a big.
Chicago
and
needs to win
Rams
out.
have now lost. They have 3 losses
Three
now.
losses.
We almost want the Saints to lose tonight, so
But-
it stays bunched. So the Bears have.
But
to
we
play,
should want the
right?
Saints to win
I don't
because
think it's going to matter.
I was like running through the playoff chances. If New Orleans wins, Carolina's playoff chances goes down to less than 5%.
Well, yeah,
make
because
us-
then they need us to lose, and they
then
need Minnesota to
And then
lose
you
out.
just gotta hope they
I
lose
get
to
nervous.
Atlanta.
I get nervous because the Eagles don't hold head-to-head tiebreakers over Carolina. or
That's the
Minnesota.
problem. The tiebreakers
Yeah.
is what
No,
kills
that's true.
us.
Here's the other part of it too. The reason why I disagree is as far as we want Carolina to win.
I don't
tonight.
understand. I haven't looked at it at all. I
No,
have
no, that's
idea.
fine. Chicago, no matter what, is going to be playing for something Week 17
Right.
because if they're not fighting for the 1 seed, they're fighting for the 2 seed.
You're right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need
Because
a bye.
exactly,
That bye,
you know what I
yeah.
mean.
They
And
want
home
that
field
bye.
controls. Even if the bye is somehow solidified, it's about having the greater seed.
Yeah, because
Right.
you want the championship at home.
And
Yeah.
plus, they're going to be worried about the Cowboys because the Cowboys are going to win out as well.
I wouldn't be worried about the Cowboys at all.
No, not worried as far as the team, but the Cowboys have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and
They
and
could play
the
on
New
the
York
moon.
Giants.
They could play on the moon, and the Bears would win that game by
Yeah.
40 points.
It's going to be interesting, though. I forget who said it at the beginning of the show. One
And
of
then the
commenters.
Niners come out of nowhere and beat the Seahawks
Yeah.
yesterday.
See, I was watching that game intently because James had George
Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Didn't have a good game. Let me do a last second update, by the way.
Last second update out the door.
Oh my God. The projection for Cam Newton 117.1. The projection for me 122.9.
Yeah, I think
Don't bring me in yet.
All right,
Not
well,
over yet.
on
Mr.
a
Brodo.
closing note,
Yes,
this is going to be the
please.
last Sports Hounds episode of 2018. This year was awesome for the Sports Hounds with A2D Radio. Frank did a great job.
Thank you.
Brodo filled in a couple times. Brad's not here. Love all the fans. Love all our followers. Have a happy, safe holiday season, and we'll see you in 2019.